for the underprivileged local communities too. AFCSR
Manoj Nesari has arrived inside the hall. Let's welcome him with a thunderous round of applause. With a louder round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, let's all together welcome the chief guest for today's event, Dr. Manoj Nesari, Advisor, Ayurveda, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. Kindly keep the applause going. A very warm and hearty welcome to the respected chief guests and other esteemed dignitaries. Thank you very much for gracing this event with your benign presence. And we'll start today's event with the lamp lighting ceremony, requesting our chief guest, Dr. Manoj Nesari, accompanied with Mr. Madhusudan Chauhan, CEO, Jiva Ayurveda, Mr. Suresh Garg, CMD, Zion Life Sciences Limited, Dr. Narendra Deo Tripathi, member ASSOCHAM National Wellness Council and ABP Quality and Regulatory Affairs, BACFO Pharmaceuticals India Limited, Mr. Sandeep, Director ASSOCHAM, to please join for the lamp lighting ceremony.
शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Thank you very much. I request our esteemed dignitaries to please be seated on the stage. Our chief guest, Dr. Manoj Nesari, Mr. Madhusudan Chauhan, Mr. Suresh Garg, Dr. Narendra Deo Tripathi, Mr. Alvin Samuel will join us in some time. Can we once again welcome our esteemed dignitaries on the stage? Once again, thank you very much for your presence. I now request Mr. Suresh Garg to please officially welcome Dr. Manoj Nesari with flowers. A very warm and hearty welcome to you, sir. Thank you for sparing your valuable time for us and joining us for this event. Distinguished invitees, assembled delegates, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of ASSOCHAM, I extend a very warm and hearty welcome to all present here at the second conference on traditional medicine, Ayush Practices for Sustainable Wellness. Can we all start with a round of applause? I'm your host Prerna, and I am delighted and privileged to play host to such an accomplished audience. And I'd like to thank each one of you for taking the time out and joining us for this conference. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin the inaugural session, we'll discuss regulatory frameworks, the global impact of Ayush on sustainable development goals, enhancing educational programs, and a lot more. And it is now my pleasure to invite our first speaker for the welcome address, Mr. Suresh Garg, CMD, Zion Life Sciences Limited. Let's all welcome him on the dais.
First of all, I welcome Honorable our Chief Guest, Dr. Manoj, our esteemed colleagues, subject matter experts, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have gathered here to explore the rich heritage of traditional medicines and its role to promoting sustainable wellness. We all know about the Dadi Ma ke nuskhe. With the passage of time, somehow we forget. And the COVID has given a reminder to everybody, yes, I'm here. So now, not only the India, the whole world knows about the Ayush. Ayush has done wonders when the whole world is in a threat of COVID. And we have noticed that everybody feeling healthy as soon as he is using Ayurvedic. World is hardly know about Ayurvedic earlier than COVID, but now most of the conferences or where we meet to the international delegates, we talk about Ayurvedic. So, first of all, I want to give a thought process. Ayurvedic has given a lot of learning to us about our preventive health. Preventive health is the really need of the time. Allopathic is becoming a lot of expensive, and that gives a kind of whenever somebody is sick, then you need the medicine, and allopathic plays a big role there. But use has played a wonderful role when we talk about preventive health. This is natural, mainly manufactured through herbs, and giving a lot of confidence. There is hardly any side effect. So, Ayush is playing a very, very big role. In India, we are having 7,50,000 registered professionals and more than 600 Ayush hospitals across the country. So, we have noticed that the Ministry of Ayush is doing wonders from the established in 2014 and giving a continued work as an instrumental promoting and development of the natural traditional medicines, converting into the practices, giving the awareness which is happening almost every day. Current market of the Ayush is 1,35,000 lakh crores, whereas this is growing at a pace of 15 to 20%, which is really giving a lot of encouragement. India is going forward worldwide on the Ayush products. This year likely to reach 1.75 lakhs crores. This gives a lot of confidence and how the traditional medicines collaborating with the modern science going ahead worldwide. Once we are talking on the global market, global market is really needed the products which are scientifically proven. or having the clinical studies behind that. We have a very large discussions with the various forms, but every form needs the scientific products. If that is clinical studied, then a lot of confidence comes. In India, being conventional and going from many years, we have a lot of confidence on Ayurvedic products. Even the 80% of the population uses this confidently because they know that really give a big relief. Use products now needs a lot of innovation, latest technology to reach up to the world-class level. We normally, whenever we talk, especially on the international markets, they are not having the confidence on the used products because that needs a lot of study behind that to give the confidence. As an industry, if I talk about, industry is facing a lot of challenges, especially when we are talking about even the digital, which we are saying all the times, everything we have made converted into the digital, but Ayush has still to do a lot towards that. Even the website, which is required time to time, latest notifications, information, circulars, that also needs to be done by the information by IT, which is needed. Sir, these days, National Biodiversity Board has given a lot of threat to the industry. Every industry is getting the notice about the royalty. Those who are manufacturing the intermediate products or the finished products, they are confused what they should do. On the subject matter, if we'll talk about, then this starts from the field to the first manufacturing who's converting herbs or the plant into the product. So if that will be demanded at a many stages, there will be totally confused. GST played a big role, which shows that is going on the first step and then looking if there is some differences there, but mainly that is covered from the beginning. If we'll talk about the exports, every country is having a different regulations, which also makes the thing confused. So there is a need to be uniform how that can be done. That still needs to be studied, but for the exports, we need a uniform regulatory. And India being a lot of geographically different crops, different times, different yield. So we face the problem to standardize that. We don't know if we are manufacturing for north, what will be the yield. If we talk about south, what will be the yield. So always there is a confusion to standardize the formulations. That also needs to be a lot of study towards that. So there is a continue studies going on towards that, and even the AI has played a big role to make this more productive, like we can say personalized nutrition or enhancing patients' management, doing better research. So there is a continue things are going on which makes the thing easy, and AI is giving a global information to you which make the product much better, which earlier takes a lot of time. Now within no time you get the information. That really helps. I once again welcome all the delegates, my colleagues, all the associate support given by the various authorities, and I am once again thankful to you, sir, and I am thankful to my subject experts who will give lot of knowledge about the use today and whatever challenges faced by the industry. That will be, I think, delegates or the panelists will discuss, and some solutions will be there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Garg, for that insightful address. We extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Alvin Samuel, Vice President, TechSci Research. A hearty welcome to you, sir. Up next, we have a special address by our knowledge partner. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Alvin Samuel on the dais, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. Normally what they say is, healthy mind stays in a healthy body. And that is what my father used to always tell me, that keep your body healthy and your mind will be healthy and you can progress further. Again, there is one more saying where they say is health is wealth. So, what we have been doing recently is we have been actually not looking at our roots. Maybe somewhere or the other we lost out on what our roots are and what our forefathers used to do in terms of having a healthy lifestyle and a healthy way of living. It's my honor today to present a comprehensive knowledge paper that marks a significant milestone for the Ayush sector. The knowledge paper prepared by TechSci Research dwells into the current state, challenges and future potential of the Ayush industry, particularly in the context of global health and sustainable development. Now what has happened is, in the bustling landscape of modern medicine, the relevance of traditional systems like Ayurveda stands resolute. As we unveil the knowledge paper, we embark on a journey through centuries of wisdom in the Ayush systems, Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy. This system not only nurture health, but also embody a sustainable approach to wellness, aligning seamlessly with the Sustainable Development Goals set forth by the United Nations. The SDGs are not just a framework, they are a global commitment to build a better future. Now, Ayush systems rooted in holistic principles offer profound solutions to promote health and well-being, combating the challenges outlined in SDG 3, ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for all the ages. Through our knowledge paper, we explore how Ayurveda, with its emphasis on preventive healthcare and natural remedies, contributes significantly to achieve these goals, fostering a healthier population and sustainable healthcare practices worldwide. Now, there are regulatory frameworks which are the bedrock of the industry growth. The Ayush sector in India has seen pivotal support from the Ministry of Ayush, enabling robust growth in domestic markets and bolstering international trade. As we delve into regulatory affairs in Ayurveda, we recognize the strides made in ensuring quality control, standardization, and international compliance. These efforts not only boost investor confidence, but also pave the way for Ayush to emerge as a beacon of trust and efficacy in global healthcare. However, challenges too persist, especially with regards to public awareness. Now, from enhancing public awareness to integrating traditional medicine seamlessly into modern healthcare infrastructure, our knowledge paper sheds light on the road ahead. The innovation becomes our guiding star. AI-driven advancements in Ayurveda research, collaborative initiatives like Agni, and the digital transformation are poised to redefine healthcare paradigms. These innovations promise not only to streamline healthcare delivery, but also to safeguard the authenticity and efficacy of traditional healing practices. Beyond borders, the Ayush sector has served a niche in the global marketplace. The Ministry of Ayush strategic initiatives have propelled Ayurveda onto the world stage, showcasing India's rich heritage of natural healing to a global audience. Amidst the challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic, the resilience of the Ayush supply chain has underscored its reliability, adaptability in times of crisis, solidifying its role in global health security. As we reflect on the findings of our knowledge paper, we recognize that the Ayush sector stands at a pivotal juncture, a juncture where tradition meets innovation, where ancient wisdom meets contemporary challenges. The path ahead is clear. To harness the full potential of Ayush, we must continue to innovate, advocate, and integrate. Together, we can shape a future where healthcare is not just a service, but a sustainable, inclusive, and resilient ecosystem for all. This was a very short, I'm sure once you go through the knowledge paper, it will help. And I believe in the discussion that are going to happen today, we'll gain more insights. The knowledge paper will help endorse a lot of things. We all will have to come together on this journey together, driven by principles of sustainability, inclusivity, and well-being. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for coming. I'm sure we are going to get great insights in today's sessions, which are going to be happening in just a few minutes from now. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening words. Up next, we have an industry address by Mr. Madhusudan Chauhan, CEO, Jiva Ayurveda. Can we all please welcome him on the dais?
Namaskar and a very good morning to everybody. First of all, I would like to congratulate ASSOCHAM for organizing this event and opening this dialogue on traditional medicine and the role Ayush can play in the wellness sector. I thank and welcome our chief guest for the day today, Dr. Manoj Nesariji. He's a long-standing advisor to both the erstwhile Department of Ayush and now the Ministry of Ayush. And I think he's seen the entire journey over the course of the last 10, 11 years in the way Ayush has gone from the shadows to the complete front of the health and wellness landscape and the dialogue. Today, there is no conversation in the country and wherever India is present globally where a health conversation or a wellness conversation today is incomplete without Ayush, and I think all accolades go to Dr. Manoj Nesri and the ministry and the work that has been done in the last 10 years to accomplish this. Traditional medicine, I think the word, one of my colleagues earlier mentioned this word called public awareness. But I think more than public awareness, one of the key challenges that Ayurveda, Ayush faces today is public perception, right? The minute you say traditional medicine, it gives a feeling of something which is rooted in old practices or things which have been very traditional in orientation. It lacks modernity, it lacks advancement, it lacks the touch of technology and modernization. When we say Ayurveda, typically what comes to mind is either a very, very diluted version of it and it being frivolized in terms of dadi maa ke nuskhe, nani maa ke nuskhe, gharelu nuskhe, home remedies, kitchen remedies. And then sometimes in the market we see the diametrically opposite view of it in terms of a hyper claim standing of it saying Ayurveda can cure everything. Any incurable disorder you bring to us and Ayurveda can cure it. And I feel both do disservice to the seriousness and the serious subject that Ayurveda and Ayush can touch upon. So today that we are standing on the platform where at least Ayush and Ayurveda are gaining the kind of public awareness, public attention that it is getting, at the same time we must realize that this perception about Ayurveda and Ayush systems needs to come into play very, very effectively if we want to, one, scale it inside the country, and two, present this as an alternate to global health crisis worldwide. Today, the per capita income of the country is one of the least amongst the G20 peers. I think the G20 Vasudev Kutumbakam war cry that the Prime Minister gave, and now the Viksit Bharat vision, that the mission of Viksit Bharat that he is driving, Bharat at 100 and India at 2047 are all dialogues that we are doing. So it is important and imperative that we see the role of Ayush and Ayurveda in that perspective as well. And to that end, if we are to analyze, like I said, India is one of the least per capita income countries in the G20 today, with a very strong growth potential. Also, amongst the G20, where the median urbanization is about 75%, in our country, the urbanization is approximately 25-27%. What does this mean? It means as we grow, as we develop, as we become stronger as a nation, this is going to put an uneven burden on the, as obviously, when per capita income increases, people start consuming more. And with consuming more, both things happen. One, lifestyle disorders increase, the incidence of that increases. And two, on the positive side, the spends that people do on elective health, preventive health also goes up. As urbanization increases, it puts an uneven burden on the infrastructure, on the living condition, on the lifestyle, on the pace of life, and thereby the burden on health as well goes up. This, I believe, is a huge opportunity for us as a sector to position Ayurveda and Ayush to ensure that while the nation is weaving together a growth story, we do not fall into the trap of the health burden story. And this is something that Ayush and Ayurveda can add in as a very strong and potent addition to the health stack of the country today. In the last 7 to 8 years especially, I think Ayurveda and Ayush has undergone a transformation. Ayurveda as a sector is not only one single faceted or a single pointed sector. It addresses food and nutrition on one end. It addresses health promotion, so people who are healthy and would want to retain the health. It touches upon and it has an equally strong offering on preventive healthcare. And by preventive healthcare, I mean somebody who has just developed early stage diabetes. How does this prevent into becoming a later stage diabetes or a involvement of a vital organ later on? How do you stop progression of somebody who's already developed a musculoskeletal disorder? So preventive from that point of view. It has a very strong offering in the preventive care as well as the therapeutic care and rehabilitation. So when the application of the science is so wide, I believe that jacketing it in one single bracket may not be enough for having a conversation. And thereby, when we talk of Ayurveda, we need to very clearly mention what aspect of Ayurveda are we talking about. Are we talking about the food and nutrition aspect of it, or are we talking of the serious therapeutic aspect of it? Because when we talk of both of them, we need to align the terminologies, the presentation of the science, the way in which it is offered to the consumer. I think in the last 6-7 months, the kind of judgments that have come from the honorable courts and also the kind of regulation that have come from the ministry are extremely welcoming to that end. Because we cannot have in the market a product being sold off the counter which says this can treat diabetes. A product being sold off the counter saying this can treat infertility. Because once you do that, it dilutes not just the therapeutic value of the science, but it also misaligns with what actually Ayurveda can offer. So I think this distinction that is being made very, very sharply now between what is food and nutrition Ayurveda, what is preventive and health promotion Ayurveda, and what is therapeutics and serious treatment Ayurveda is extremely crucial going forward. Somebody mentioned about Ayurveda and adoption of advancements in technology. Yes, while most of the applications of Ayurveda, and like I said, it's again a perception problem, it does seem to have that Ayurveda in practice will be very, very rooted in a non-scientific approach or an established way of practice approach. I will be happy to share that it is not so. And specifically in the last 7 to 8 years, what has happened is there is a lot of innovation happening even inside Ayurveda. In terms of the formats, in terms of the delivery formats, in terms of the kind of research that is going on in the fundamental aspects of both Ayurveda ingredients as well as Ayurveda protocols and service therapies. We run one of the largest telemedicine practices in the world, wherein we reach out to over 8,000 patients every day with that amount of data being maintained, that amount of data being captured, analyzed with various ML and AI techniques being used. This is, in fact, in that segment, one of the most forefront running IT-based applications of Ayurveda delivery, which in a lot of the cases, even sometimes modern medicine healthcare organizations are unable to offer to their to their patients. Similarly, in terms of diagnostics, there is a lot of advancements happening with respect to even something as simple as Nadi Pariksha. Right, Tanuja ma'am is here, and if you visit the All India Institute of Ayurveda, you will be surprised to know the kind of specialities, super specialities, the kind of researches and researches which are equivalent and at par with any other modern medicine research outfit. So these are all the advancements and the very strong strides forward that Ayush as a system has made. And we must keep in mind that Ayush ministry is just 10 years old, right? In the larger context of things, this is something that traditional Chinese medicine started doing 70, 80 years ago. The amount of ground that we've caught up with in the last 10 years is just immense. I am sure Dr. Nesri sir will throw a lot of light on it. So to that end, I believe that Ayush systems have a role to play in the wellness side of healthcare stack and the therapeutic side of healthcare stack. What we need to do is not mix two of them, talk of them as two separate uh, applications of Ayurveda, and that I believe we will be able to create a success story and a growth story which is unparalleled. The first market survey for Ayurveda was done, and we were part of that study. It was done by CII almost in, I think, 2015 or 2016. At that time, the sector was mapped at around 18,000 crores. Today, there are different figures. One of them certainly was quoted this morning, which is 1,35,000 crores. There is another survey which I don't think has come out completely yet. The RIS is doing such a survey. The broad initial numbers are almost what the pharmaceutical modern medicine industry today is. And that is a massive transition. We are talking of a 10x growth in less than 10 years. This is unheard of, the growth story. This is not something which happens with every now and then, and I relate it to what happened with the IT industry in the early 90s, is what the Ayush can provide to the country, not in just terms of economic and monetary standing, but in very, very strongly in terms of its health impact, its social impact, and the diplomacy impact that we can have the world over. With the International Day of Yoga, I was in Indonesia during the World Yoga Day, and I was surprised that even people who had nothing to do with India, they were not subscribers of spiritualism or the Indian culture or following Indian culture or Indic culture, but they were celebrating Yoga Day and they were understanding why yoga is important, irrespective of anything else. And I think that speaks volumes of the cultural and the social and the diplomatic impact that Ayush systems can make. With that, I look forward to the deliberations, and I think very exciting times ahead for Ayush and Ayurveda and everybody in it. Together, we are weaving a growth story. We are weaving an unparalleled health story, which I think the world has not yet seen. This kind of an integration of modern medicine, which India obviously is one of the best in the world, healthcare technology, which with what India has done with the CoWIN platform and the technology strength that India has, and the third pillar of the traditional medicine, which I think apart from India, there is no other country which can boast of such a vibrant ecosystem, and we are just poised to present maybe the most innovative, integrative, holistic healthcare system to the world, which will be made in Bharat, made in India, made by India, and service to the rest of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chauhan, for sharing your valuable insights with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached a significant moment in our conference, the release of the knowledge report. I request Mr. Sandeep, Director ASSOCHAM, to please join us for the same. And I'll request our chief guest, Sir, Dr. Manoj Nesri, to please unveil the knowledge report. This report is a culmination of extensive research and insight by the experts in the field of traditional medicine and Ayush practices. And this report is prepared by ASSOCHAM and TechSci Research. Can we have the copies, please, being given to the dignitaries for the unveiling ceremony? And with this, ladies and gentlemen, we release the knowledge report. A thunderous round of applause. Many congratulations on the release. The copies of the knowledge report are now available for you. We encourage you to read it and share it with your colleagues. Thank you very much. Thank you, dignitaries, for doing the honors. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sandeep, for joining us for the release ceremony. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the honor of hearing from our chief guest, Dr. Manoj Nesri, Advisor, Ayurveda, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. Let's all welcome him on the dais with a roaring round of applause.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The dignitaries on the dais, Mr. Arvind Samuel, Mr. Suresh Garg, Mr. Madhusudan Chauhan, Dr. Narendra Dev Tripathi, my colleagues at the Ministry of Ayush, Dr. Raman Singh, the Director of the Pharmacopoeia Commission, Dr. Tanuja Nesri, the Director of All India Institute of Ayurveda, the team Invest India, and friends. Dr. Basu Reddy is there, and many more faces known to me, so they are there. First of all, I congratulate the ASSOCHAM and Mr. Sandeep Jain for organizing this event. And when he thought to organize this event, we had a discussion in the Ministry of Ayush along with the team ASSOCHAM that what should be the title and what should actually be addressed. So every one of us, we agreed upon this title. And this title, Traditional Medicine Ayush Practices. So in the traditional medicine, we thought to actually highlight the Ayush because traditional medicine is a vast sector, but in that specifically to highlight the Ayush and linking with this sustainable wellness. So though actually it is just wellness, but at the same time, we would also like to address and link with the sustainable development goal. And when we say sustainable development goal, so it is not only the health and wellness, but it actually cuts across the various aspects of our life. So whether it is the nutrition, whether it is the veterinary, whether it is the environment, because when we say that the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, so Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, it is not just the earth and the human being, but it is the entire universe. And that is the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So whether it is the living being, non-living being, we all are the part of one family. And being the part of one family, each of us going to have the effect of each other on everyone. And for that, how actually the Ayush systems, the Ayurveda, whether it is the Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, all the systems, how actually we can contribute for the overall wellness of the entire universe. And this is the theme that we thought that it could be of very much relevance. And when we address these themes, there are various aspects of it, whether it is pertaining to the education, whether it is pertaining to the quality standards, whether it is pertaining to the regulations, whether it is pertaining to the creating the awareness. So there are various angles and there are various aspects to address this. This is a long-term goal. But the way the Ministry of Ayush has taken various initiatives in last 10 years, and before that, when the Department of Ayush was there, from the year 2002, so 2002 to 2014 and 2014 to 2024. It's a long period, and now the ministry has really grown up. Because initially, the budget constraints were there, initially the lack of regulation they were there, but in these last so many years, gradually we have addressed various aspects. India is a huge democracy, and being a huge democracy, there are benefits. At the same time, there are some disadvantages also, and that's why you can't expect the change to happen in single night. So it happened through series of meetings, through series of initiatives, series of dialogues, and then gradually it changes. So we can't expect the change in one night. And this initiative had been taken one after another, like actually when you go to some peak and when you cross one mountain, then you see the another mountain is there, then the another mountain is there, and you keep on climbing, and ultimately you reach to your destination. So this is the journey actually what the Ministry of Ayush is trying to achieve. And now in this process, what actually everyone mentioned, Mr. Garg mentioned about the market size of Ayush. So first of all, in the year 2017, with the help of CII, we conducted first survey based on the data which was there in 2014, that what was the market size of Ayurveda. And when I said Ayurved, it is the Ayurved products. So services were not considered into that. And that was around $3 billion that time. And in the November 2021, we conducted another survey with the help of the RIS. Under RIS, there is an vertical called FITM. And with this FITM, we conducted this survey and we showed that the market size in November 21 was $18.2 billion. And now today it is expected to be around $25 billion. So this is the size of the product at the domestic level. At the same time, there is a lot of export which is happening. We also have the data and the product which are going abroad at the same time, to which countries they are going. So if we talk about the export, the EU is the highest market, followed by the US, followed by the UAE and Japan. So these are the strong markets for the Ayush product, whether they are the Ayurved, whether they are the Unani, or they are the nutraceuticals. So these are the basically market areas, and now there are many new market areas which are coming up, like the Malaysia and the Southeast Asia and including the Taiwan. So these are the new opportunities that we see. And Mr. Garg, he mentioned about the different regulations which are there, and these are the challenges for the traditional medicine sector, and these different regulatory provision in different countries. But after experience of so many years, I learned that though every country is a sovereign country and they have their own regulations, but at the same time, there are groups of the countries, and these groups of the countries, they have similar kind of regulatory provision. For example, the EU, the European Union, and in the European Union, the EMA, that is the European Medical Agency, being the single agency for the entire European Union, the regulations are identical. Likewise, the US and the many other countries, they follow the US footsteps. Similarly, if we talk about the Eurasian country and the Russia, so the Russian Federation and the Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, all these countries, so they have identical regulations. So we have to address one group at a time, negotiate with them, have a dialogue with them, have an understanding, because we know Ayurveda, we know Yoga, we know Unani, but not that everyone actually knows what these sciences are, what are the strengths of that, what is mean by the holistic approach. We say that we have the holistic approach, but what is mean by holistic approach? And it is not in their education system. So they are taught, they are trained in the reductionist approach. Say for example, if it is a Plumbago zeylanica, then in the Plumbago zeylanica, so what are the phytochemical phytoconstituents and what are the effect of the phytoconstituents? They are taught to think that way. And when we actually have the dialogue and when we say that we have the holistic approach, and when you isolate a particular phytochemical compound, then it will have so and so effect, it becomes difficult for them to digest. So that's why this is an ongoing process, and to have this process formally, we were successful to establish India-EU Technical Working Group on Ayurveda. Now this is a formal mechanism which is a bilateral dialogue mechanism in between the India and EU, and this is only for the technical purpose, because there are various very technical aspects are there. When we talk about the various regulatory barriers or the trade barriers, so in the trade barriers, one could be related to the tariff, another could be related to non-tariff. And when we say non-tariff, there are many the barriers related to, first of all, understanding the science behind the particular system. So that is one major actually stumble block is there. The another could be the standard, the another could be the regulatory provision. So there are various issues. So this is one aspect that we are trying to focus, that how actually we can address these scientific technical barriers. So likewise, we established one group with the EU. Similarly, we established one group with the Eurasian countries, that is the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Like the G20 is there, so likewise the SCO is there. Or one is on the west, another is on the east. So under SCO, we were successful in establishing this working group on traditional medicine, and this working group is now working on the various aspects related to how actually we can promote the traditional medicine. And when we promote the traditional medicine, obviously the Indian traditional medicines, that is the Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, everyone will benefit out of that. Similarly, we had this dialogue with the ASEAN. So we have this dialogue with the different group of countries. Now ASEAN, they have the similar kind of regulations among them. At the same time, they have the understanding for the trade among the ASEAN countries. So these countries, whether the ASEAN, whether the SCO, so these countries, they have the trade agreements among themselves, and that's why the free trade can actually happen in those countries. So the thought process is that if we actually can have the understanding with them, then in one go we can have the trade with all the 10 countries of ASEAN. We can have all the trade with all the 20 countries or 25 countries of SCO, all the 20 countries of the G20. So this is the thought process, and we are working on that. At the same time, we are also working with the WHO, because we have to address the standards. And when we say the standards, once the standard is published by the WHO, then it is acceptable by the whole of the world. And that's why we actually develop the collaboration with the WHO. And first of all, the WHO benchmark for the Ayurveda education, WHO benchmark for the Ayurveda practices, WHO benchmark for the Panchakarma practices. So on one side, we are working on the standards of the practices of the education. On the other hand, we are also working on the standards of the products. So like the Pharmacopoeia Commission is there, so he will talk about the pharmacopoeia. Recently, the Swiss Medic has recognized the Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India. Around 40 products they have actually recognized. There are many other countries, those who have recognized the Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, and when they actually accept the Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, automatically the other pharmacopoeia, whether it is Unani or Siddha or something, it becomes easy for them to recognize those as well. So the pharmacopoeia is another actually the part, the acceptance for that, which actually helps in breaking the barriers. At the same time, we are also working with the ISO, and once the standard they are actually published by the ISO, then they are acceptable worldwide. We are having the collaboration with the different Pharmacopoeia Commission, whether it is the Indonesia, whether it is the US. So the different Pharmacopoeia Commissions of the different countries, so we have the collaboration with them, so that the Pharmacopoeia of India, I mean to say the Ayurveda Pharmacopoeia of India or the Unani or the Siddha, it will get recognized in those countries, and that's how actually we can spread more and more. So how to address the regulatory barriers? So this is the way actually we are trying to approach that, and this has given good results. Now as on today, in last 10 years, we have agreement with almost 40 institutions internationally. We have the agreement with 32 different countries, and in 24 countries now the Ayurveda or Unani, so they have legally recognized. So legally recognized means now there are regulations for that. But having the regulation in those countries, it actually doesn't actually break the barrier. Because first of all, the regulation is there, but after the regulation, they don't know how to regulate the product. Say for example, in Malaysia, we had intense dialogue. In the year 2016, Malaysia, they brought out the regulation to recognize the Ayurveda or the Unani and the Siddha as the systems of medicine, traditional systems of medicine, which are recognized now in Malaysia. But having this regulation doesn't actually stop or doesn't solve the entire problem. But then actually there are a series of meetings with the regulatory authorities of Malaysia to explain them how to regulate these products. Because unless and until they actually understand the methodology, they will not allow any product to enter into it. So then bringing them to India, then taking them to different institutes, whether the All India Institute of Ayurveda, whether to the Pharmacopoeia Commission, whether to certain industries, and then they start understanding how the products are, then how we can regulate that. The another angle to that is the FSSAI regulation, that is the Ayurveda Ahar, because for 1,000 years In Ayurveda, we have the food, we have the hardcore medicines, but then there are many products which are in between. And for many years, either they were being registered as the Ayurveda drug or they were not being registered. For example, the Chyawanprash. So just now we were actually discussing this aspect. And that's why now the FSSI, this Ayurveda Ahar, the classification is there. So for that also within the ministry, within the government of India, there were a lot of actually differences, there were a lot of issues, how to address that. Finally, we could convince the FSSI, and now that the committee was chaired by Dr. Tanuja Nesri, so she can explain more. So finally that regulation is there. Now there is further process to how to actually register that. There has to be some vertical under the FSSI for the Ayush, so that this category which has been now notified, it can be actually registered and it can actually converted into the market and capitalize the provisions made. The third is related to the medical value travel, and in the medical value travel, now the Ayush visa has been notified. So Ayush visa notification is a big step, and I would say that because of this step, now whosoever are the foreigners, whether they are coming from the west or from the east or from the Africa, now it will be possible to get the data of those visitors, to which hospital they are going, to which states they are going. So their health seeking behavior, so that actually can be registered. So we can have more and more data on, and that actually will help the government to make more facilities, to make the very provisions, at the same time to do the capacity building of our service providers. And when I say the service providers, it is the doctors, it is the hospitals, it is the wellness centers, it is the yoga experts, it is the therapist. So all of them, the skill development program is another initiative that the government has undertaken, and under the skill development program, various 12 modules, whether they are the Panchakarma therapists, whether they are the yoga experts, under different, or they are Marma therapists. So these different 12 modules, they have been now recognized by the government of India, and now they have been listed by the Skill Council. So this service force which is required, so now they will be trained, they will be certified. For example, the geriatric health caregiver is another segment, and there is huge demand for this sector. Right now it is in the Japan, but it is going to increase every day in leaps and bounds. So we have signed an MOU with the Ministry of Social Justice, who looks after the geriatric population. And with this geriatric population, they said that immediately they require 50,000 these kind of certified geriatric healthcare giver. So this is the huge actually the demand that is there in the sector. And for that, it is not only the Ayush institutions, because there are 750 Ayush institutions are there, but then there is requirement of many more others. We have the Ayush sector sub-skill council, but at the same time there is Life Science Skill Council is there, and Life Science Skill Council, they actually look after the services not to the patient, but say for example, industry also requires the skilled human resource. So providing the skilled human resource to the manufacturing sector, so that is also an issue. So we are actually now working on that aspect also. So there are various angles to look at it. Coming back to the medical value travel, after having this Ayush visa, now the next step is to register our hospitals in the Form C of the Ministry of Home. Because when the Ministry of Home Affairs, they will give the visa, so for that they will refer to this Form C, they will refer to that data, and if the data, they have the information about the particular the service provider or the particular hospital, it will facilitate the Ministry of Home Affairs to provide the visa. So actually we have written to all the institutions, whether they are under the Ministry of Ayush, whether they are in the private sector. So we have written to all the associations, we have written to all the institutions, we have written to all the state governments. Also we have written to the tourism department and their state infrastructure as well, to sensitize them that this particular format is there, this is the link so and so, and ask your members to register on this particular link, so that we can have the huge data of those service providers. Because of the provisions in the Drugs and Cosmetic Act, we know that there are around now 9,000 manufacturers are there, but the exact how many hospitals or the service providers in the Ayush sector are there, so that data is still lacking. So these kind of various initiatives are there. I would just like to mention that we know that we have the population of 140 billion, that is the huge population that we have. But if we convert this population into the number of countries, each of our state, what is the equivalence of that? Say for example, the UP is equivalent to Brazil, and the Maharashtra is equivalent to Mexico. So we are actually having the 30 different countries within India based on the population size, and the India and the Minister of Ayush, we are addressing these 30 big countries at a time. So this is the mammoth task we are doing, and despite of that, thanks to the wholehearted support provided by the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, because of that, we could have so much of these achievements, whether it is the SCO, whether it is the G20. We are there to suggest that what can be done, but ultimately to get it converted into the ground reality, that is the job of the External Affairs Ministry, the Home Ministry, and mainly the PMO and the Prime Minister. So when we propose that we should have this kind of technical working group with SCO, I'm very happy to share with you that immediately when Prime Minister he went to Tashkent, so that time during the meeting, he said that India will take the initiative, that India will be happy to establish this kind of traditional working group under the SCO, and all the SCO countries, they supported it. So just by saying by the PMO, all the countries, they agree. This is the strength that the Prime Minister has, and because of his strong support, so many these kind of achievements can be done. And one more important thing I would like to say, that in last 10 years, we haven't heard the word, we don't have money. I'm really happy to say, because earlier we always used to say that we don't have money, we don't have money, we don't have money. And now we say that give us a proposal, we have the money, give us the proposals. So there is significant change into it. So whether it is the service sector, whether it is the manufacturing sector, whether it is the various other sectors related to the Ayush systems, I request all of you that we are coming up with the various new schemes. Maybe in another 2-3 months, probably we will come up with some schemes, and that's why the Invest India team is there. So they are working hard on that. So we would like to bring more and more investment into the Ayush sector. We would like to promote the entrepreneurship in the Ayush sector. We would like to promote the innovation in the Ayush sector. So we are working on the IPR as well. And at the end of these 5 years, we are targeting that now the Ayush sector, including the service sector, at the end of 5 years, the market should be $200 billion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your remarkable address. All of us present here are highly benefited by the same, and we look forward to having your esteemed presence in the coming times also with us. Thank you so much. And I now request Dr. Narendra Deo Tripathi to please propose vote of thanks and render concluding remarks. Let's welcome him on the dais.
Good afternoon, everyone. I feel proud and privileged to get opportunity to extend the vote of thanks on this special occasion. On behalf of ASSOCHAM National Wellness Council, I express my most sincere gratitude to Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Manoj Nesri ji, Advisor, Ministry of Ayush. Sir, your motivational speech has set a inspiring milestone, basically inspiring wordings in the just it is vibing like I feel, and in this for the development of Ayush practice and sustainable wellness. And here I would like to, sir, extend your one of your presentation, one sloka from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Since there are the number of the position, it is represented over there. There is always a question of diversities, like गामा विषयचा भूतानि धारामयोजसा पुष्पणामि चौषधि सर्वाशो भूत्वा रसात्मका। तो व्हाट एवर द जो हम हर्ब्स जो हम यूज़ करते हैं, जो वनस्पतियाँ हम यूज़ करते हैं, जो इसकी सृष्टि को जो यूनिवर्स इसको जो है बेसिकली संरक्षित करती है, तो उसका रक्षण करना, उसको संरक्षित करना भी हमारा एक परम कर्तव्य है। एंड इट इज़ फ्रॉम द योर भास्कर सर। And I express my vote of thanks to respected Suresh Garg ji, who put the insight basically Dadi Ma ke nuske, which is definitely it is basically reviving and very great things. And ऐसा कोई हम जहाँ तक हमारा मानना है कि हम जो देखें तो हमारा कोई ऐसा किसी का घर नहीं होगा जहाँ पे आयुर्वेदिक कोई प्रोडक्ट नहीं होगा। Every home has a certain somehow Ayurvedic products, वो हर घर की बात है। And a part of that is his emphasis on artificial intelligence. Definitely it is required. Thank you, sir, for such a deep insight. And pertaining to the industry, respected Masudan Chauhan ji, definitely you covered a lot about the industry deeply inside. Thanks for that. To the thanks for the same. And respected Alvin ji, thanks for your basically technical research insight, whatever the being launched, and congratulations for the same. We are greatly thankful to dignitaries whose dynamic leadership of Ayush practices and for sustainable wellness definitely really has infused a new energy to drive the traditional knowledge and modern research aspect. I take this opportunity to also thank to the distinguished and dignitaries present today. And finally, my extending vote of thanks to the ASOCHAM to organizing such a fantastic Ayush Wellness Sustainable and Traditional Knowledge Conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. With this, we conclude our inaugural session. Once again, a round of applause for all the esteemed dignitaries present on the day. Thank you very much for joining us for this session. And now we'll quickly prepare the stage for our next session, which is a panel discussion. I request all the dignitaries to please come together for a group photograph. Thank you very much. We also thank Just Herbs for the gift hampers, which we will be presenting to our esteemed dignitaries. Thank you, Just Herbs, for sponsoring the gift hampers for our esteemed dignitaries. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll quickly prepare the stage for our upcoming session, which is a panel discussion, Bridging Traditional Wisdom with Modern Innovation for Global Wellness. This session will focus on regulatory frameworks, the impact of Ayush on sustainable development goals, and a lot more. This session will be followed by one more session, and then we'll conclude with lunch. And we request all of you to please stay with us till the end, as there's a lot more coming up. The panelists for this session are already here with us, and we'll be inviting them on stage in any moment from now. So I request all of you to please be seated and kindly keep your phones on silent mode. To start our panel discussion titled Bridging Traditional Wisdom with Modern Innovation for Global Wellness. Please join me in welcoming on the day's session moderator, Mr. Alvin Samuel. Vice President TechSci Research, who was with us in the inaugural session as well. Requesting Mr. Elvin Samuel to please join us on stage. We also have with us Professor Dr. Tanuja Manoj Nesari, Director, All India Institute of Ayurveda, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. Can we all please welcome Professor Dr. Tanuja on stage with a round of applause? Please also join me in welcoming Dr. Ishwar V. Basarwardi, Chairman and Mentor, Appa Yoga Academy, former Director, Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. Kindly keep the applause going as our panelists, esteemed speakers join us for the upcoming session. Dr. Sandeep Arora, Honorable Director, R&D, Natural Solutions and Nutraceuticals Private Limited and Director, Amity University, Noida. A hearty welcome to you, sir. Ms. Mona Walia, Vice President, Strategy and Alliance, Kairali Ayurvedic Group. A hearty welcome to you, ma'am. Dr. Santosh Joshi, Head Research and Development, Hamdard Laboratories, India. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Dr. Preeti Pal Singh, VP and Head R&D, Tirupati Group. Dr. V.K. Tripathi, Chairman and Managing Director, VCA Healthcare Private Limited. Can we once again welcome all our esteemed dignitaries? I now request Mr. Sandeep Jain, Director, ASSOCHAM, to please join us on stage to welcome Professor Dr. Tanuja Manoj Nesari. I request the ASSOCHAM team to please do the honors. Mr. Alvin Samuel has also joined us. Sir, please. Our session moderator. He was with us in the inaugural session as well. And now we have Mr. Sandeep, Director, ASSOCHAM. Sir, we request you to please formally welcome Professor Dr. Tanuja Manoj Nesari, Director, All India Institute of Ayurveda, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, with flowers. Can we all please join, sir, in welcoming ma'am? A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. Thank you so much for gracing this conference with your presence. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's kickstart this session by inviting Professor Dr. Tanuja for a special address. Let's please welcome her on the dais.
Good morning, and now I can say good afternoon to everyone. At the outset, all the esteemed dignitaries and the co-panelists and the session chair on the dais, and all the esteemed dignitaries of the dais. I take this opportunity to formally thank ASSOCHAM for considering me for having here. I think this is the honor for All India Institute of Ayurveda, and it is a great honor to represent All India and Ministry of Ayush and the entire Ayush sector. For this session, where it is the traditional medicine, the sustainable practices for how the technology and tradition can meet together to develop this sustainable wellness. I thank, and I'm sure all the co-panelists, I thank them for being, and I'm really feel proud to be as a co-panelist with Dr. Ishwar Basavareddy ji, Dr. Sandeep Arora, Dr. Mona Walia, Santosh Joshi ji, Singh ji, V.K. Tripathi ji, and all the panelists. I am also thankful to Chandra Shekhar ji and DG CCRS. I can see Dr. Ravi Narayan, a friend, and everyone. I take this opportunity, considering the time which is given to me, maybe 7 to 8 minutes. I think I will do this justice for how taking what is the strength, how we can do it, and what we have achieved so far. And I understood the ASSOCHAM has its main growth pillar. So how we have the synergy for Ayush through ASSOCHAM, through industry, through the service sector, how can improve the economy through sector of Ayush and Ayurveda. Yes. This is the bridging traditional wisdom with the modern innovation and the global wellness. And as we say that, this itself says that the strength of the Ayurveda, it is said that it is a Shashvat. The Shashvat means it is equally relevant. It was relevant thousands years of ago. We have the experiential wisdom, but it is most classical, but most contemporary, most relevant to today's time. And when we have all these, we can have the deliverables like Tattva Shastra, but the applications, there is a potential to deliver to the need of every caste, culture, religion, and the need of everyone. Holistic well-being, not only for the people, but the planet also. So this is how it has sustained over the time. That meaning itself is a Shashvata, because it is most relevant to today's time. So even though we say that the tradition, it is tradition in its principle, but it is as modern as in application. If we do that, we do justice, I think we will be the healthcare leaders. And that's how we are trying to integrate tradition, which is supported with the technology, and not only in the illness sector, in the tertiary care sector, but also in the wellness sector, both, as our earlier panelists have already mentioned. So we'll not go. Yes. And as it is in the global, as we see that the latest report, it was not only 80, but now the current report says that it is more than 80%, 90%. Do use primarily some or the other form of the traditional medicine, not Ayurveda, but Unani, Siddha, homeopathy, and also the folklore. And if we leverage this potential from primary care to prevention to the care and rehabilitation with the practice-based evidence to the evidence-based practices, I think we can be the healthcare leader. And considering this potential, UN Outpost Global Traditional Medicine Center has been established, is being established at Jamnagar, where Ayush, we have the medical pluralism in India, as 5 to 6 systems are available under Ministry of Ayush, but there are 173 countries which have traditional practices and products and healthcare systems. So if we really considered as a global market, we have to remember these are our potential competitors, 173 countries. And maybe that is how, it is not the conventional medicine. We really understand who are, because if we really have to synergy, because recently we had been to Sri Lanka, and in the wellness tourism in Ayurveda, people prefer from EU to visit to Sri Lanka, not to India. That is #1 destination, and the Thailand and the Singapore. So maybe if we really have to attract the global audience for the wellness tourism, I think we really have to create the not only infrastructure but the resources also, empowerment, empower our resources. then entrepreneurship, digitalization, and that what is the need of the global citizens to come into India. I think maybe that market study and implementation is the need of an hour. So this is what I just wanted to say. But considering GCTM, we have the advantage equally that the GCTM is established in India and the mandate is synthesis of the evidence. So whatever is the published, if that synthesis to AI ML with the digital AI applications, and that can be translated again into the public health, I think we also have the greatest opportunity also. That is the strength what we have, and maybe the industries can leverage this opportunity as well. And being an industry academia partnership as All India Institute of Ayurveda, what we are doing, maybe there is open invitation to each and everyone to be a partner so that we create a good ecosystem in India. And with this, we have contributed, Ministry of Ayush has contributed various guidelines, protocols, how to integrate standard treatment guidelines, standard protocols for illness, for tertiary care, for primary care, and for the wellness. And as maybe there are various economists and the wellness industry is growing at the pace, but what is the latest CAGR? It says that the global wellness tourism markets was estimated US 815 billion in 2022. But in 2032, it is poised to go at compound annual CAGR rate of 820 from 23 to 22. So this is the huge potential we have, and maybe not medical tourism, even with conventional tourism, medical tourism, even if how we integrate with that, there is also potential. It is not primary prevention, but also secondary prevention. I mean to say it like after surgery, people come for the surgery, but after surgery, for rehabilitation, medical institutions and the hospital do not have any mechanism where they have the rehabilitation post of rehabilitation. So that's the secondary prevention where we integrate all those protocol for primary and secondary prevention. Maybe we can leverage the integrated wellness facility as well. And coming to the Ayush as a soft power of India, I think I can get the color mile so that I can be there. So it would be very easy with the time management as well. Yes, the Ayush, the competitive advantage at the Brahmastra is Ayush to transform India into a premier healthcare destination. Then this Ayush may be it's okay. Pre-COVID and the post-COVID, and with this vision, post-COVID, the market size has been increased 8-fold. So maybe this is the advantage we give. And now as Heal in India and Heal by India, so Heal by India also are resources, and the trained manpower can be, and there is a huge demand not only for the Vaidyas, but the paramedical staff who have been trained in the Ayush nursing, Ayush therapists, the huge demand. So if we really have the skilling program and have the network with the global partners, maybe this is also one thing. I am very happy to share that All India Institute, we have the already registered nurses. If we give them the upskilling and capacity building and the Ayush graduate diploma in Ayush nursing, I think their demand is much more in the Middle East, in Japan, and for specialized in psychiatry, nursing psychiatry. If we train them with care, compassion, and the values in the Ayush nursing, I think that is also sector we can really, that is an untapped potential. And I can say the Ayush is like sunrise sector, and the sky is the limit, and the ocean is the opportunity. And that why I mean to say it, because Ayurveda is journey from illness to wellness to happiness. So it is not only patient-centric, it is people-centric. 140 crore deshwasi and the global population, not only people, but the planet, the environment, plants, animal, everyone, we can consider, we can think holistically for the wellness and the happiness. And that's why in India, we are blessed to have. It is deeply rooted into our community. There is a deep root. So whatever rituals, whatever practices we follow, that is nothing but Ayurveda. To convince the people of India, it's very, very easy. We have to just prepare, make the standard packages so that that can be taken back to the people, from people to the back to the people. And what we do, it is a holistic means. Dr. Nesri in the first session mentioned about holistic. What is the definition of holistic? So we say that at all, I'm just going to discuss that in the next slides. But we have diet, sleep, and the lifestyle. Those are the main three models we have with these three things. Healthy diet, presenting good diet, good rest, sleep, and a good lifestyle. If we prescribe this, because now it has become like a prescription. People come to you for the wellness with this prescription they want. What is their body type? What is the prakruti? What type of a diet is really good, and what type of the rest and recreation and the lifestyle, and that we have to demonstrate the change from baseline if we integrate. So this is sort of a prescription for the maintenance, for prevention. People are, this is the seeking behavior. Maybe we have to tap, because it is, we have just हमारे जो roots है उनसे हम बहुत दूर हो गए. So maybe this we have to bring everyone. That is what is the wellness package maybe we consider. And this is the holistic well-being, the balance of physical, mental, emotional, and the spiritual aspects. And that's what Ayurveda says, that samadosha, samagnischa, and prasanna atmendriya. So this holistic health, maybe people want not physical, but the mental, spiritual. So not only spa, it is something more than a spa, wellness center. And it is not the hospital, it is the care with compassion and the good holistic care in a spa type of a facility people want, and maybe we will be able to create that. And these growth pillars at ASSOCHAM has focused on this as a sustainability, empowerment, entrepreneurship, and digitalization. To our traditional medicine, if we add those 4 gold pillars, and what we are doing through Ministry of Ayush at various research councils, and we have at All India Institute, we have the same coincidentally synergistic principle. Within few slides, I will just say that Ministry of Ayush, you can see there is everything, councils, entrepreneurship, academic institutions for empowerment, and digital Ayush grid, and all the industry sector drug cell. And this is a new thing that is here in India for attract the tourist and all OECD nations. And as we say that this can be good MVT destination, and with Ayush visa and various facilitation, the funding is also being given. And you can see the number of foreign nationals are also visiting more to India for the treatment in India, and also for the wellness sector. So maybe this is, and we also have the Service Expert Promotion Council. So it was not only product, but for the services as well. And with all the holistic approach, maybe we have all the resources, the mechanism, the digitalization, and include Ayurveda Ahar and the products and services. I think the future is huge. Now I just few minutes, I will share the success story of All India Institute of Ayurveda. Maybe recently, this has been dedicated to nation by Prime Minister of India in 2017. But during few years, 5 years, we established our one center at Goa, that is All India Institute of Ayurveda, on 6 times bigger, 50 acres of land, and that was also inaugurated. Fortunately, we were really blessed and honored to have inaugurated by Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji. And there the mandate is to establish medical value travel, to showcase the medical value travel. And at All India Institute, it is tertiary care, postgraduate research and training center. But you can see the Statue of Unity, India's wellness tourism destination future. So we have established there itself as a wellness center, as a showcasing the best wellness model, where we have Panchakarma, diet, lifestyle, and the treatment. And recently at Labasna, because we have to deliver Ayurveda, a capsule Ayurveda, in a different sector of the society, the bureaucrats who are the policy makers, if we sensitize them well in advance, I think they will deliver it to the best and they will be the enablers and facilitators. So we have at Labasna, Mussoorie, one wellness center since 2019, and as an integrated wellness model, because Ayush integration is like under one umbrella, we have to provide everything, patient-centric integration. So in allopathy setup, if we provide Ayurved services, like in AIMS, in Safdarjung, we have the Ayush Center, and at All India Institute, where 97% is the holistic Ayurved, but it is supported with the synergy with the modern tools and technology for diagnosis. So the diagnosis is conventional, but what we do is Ayurved. And last but not the least, recently we have our wellness center at Supreme Court, where it is the all the judiciary is very well accepting, and they are the seeking this Ayush wellness practices. So this is how we have to create, customize. Even IIT we have the wellness center. So we are ready to collaborate and partner with all the industry sectors according to need. We can customize and provide the capsule so that we can deliver it the best. And this is how with the research, because the mandate is to create evidence-based model. That is the what entire world wants. World wants traditional medicine, but standardized format in a good quality delivery and evidence-based. So that is the one mandate. Whatever small we do it very thorough, authentic, and quality with quality, so that we create, the people believe in us, and that can be replicated for others to follow. NABH accredited ISO, but in quality education, NAC A double plus is the benchmark. That's what we, in the first assessment cycle, we could get it as a team dedicated under Ministry of Ayush recently last year. That is the first institution to receive NAC A double plus in the first cycle of assessment. So I think I will take this pride from all AI team and under Ministry of Ayush. And if everyone wants data, because this entire world is now the data based. So when we say that Ayurveda is good in diabetes, people will ask, how many patients data you have? Where is the HbA1c pre and post? So I can say that we have data of 60,000 patients. So likewise, as in the morning Madhusudan was saying that we have the 44 specialty area. So we can give you 44 specialty data set with holistic and integrated pre-post diagnostics, and that is how we have this number is increasing day by day, because every day we have 2,000 patients visiting for this set. And this is holistic model, because everyone has their own model. But what we can say, each and every patient who is coming, maybe we assess their body type, need, patient diagnosis. But in Panchakarma, everyone, if required, what type of biodetox they require. So Panchakarma, then Aushadhi, medicine, coupled with customized diet, lifestyle. Yoga is inseparable part. So yoga, meditation, with the support of NDNYN and with the support of Basav Reddy ji, we have developed the yoga protocol, and we have the yoga unit at All India Institute. And all of them, they have been diagnosed, and their investigations are being done as per the conventional medicine, and digitalization is digitalization, MIS is being done. I know the time constraints, so these are all coupled with the diagnosis. We have integrated research facility, molecular biology, bioinformatics. And when we say that if we really have to create a success story, we really have to have the partner who are the best in the world. So we have the best of the best institutions as our collaboration. Harvard Medical School and London School of Hygiene, and all different 17 countries we have established our collaboration, and 70 in India. And one example I can give, because Ashwagandha is being discussed and debated a lot. So to create evidence-based model for the Ashwagandha, we have been working with London School of Hygiene on long COVID assessment of Ashwagandha effect, double-blind control clinical study, and it's the molecular mechanism with the physics, one in Germany. I can give the example. So we are various projects of the ministry as a digitalization, because the future of the healthcare is the digitalization, AI, ML. Maybe that is the mandate of ASSOCHAM as well. So if we integrate with the digital health stack, I think we can communicate fast and we can deliver the best. And this is many projects of the ministry and at AI also. And we have the incubation center as the innovation, as a startup challenge, because Ayurved Ahar with the technology, biomedical instrumentation in Panchakarma wellness delivery that we are doing with the IITs, and also IT solution mobile app for knowing. So if we really do these innovations, entrepreneurship through Ayush, I think we can deliver the best as it is required. Sustainable growth, traditional yet contemporary. I think that is the need we can do, and that's how modern innovation can help bridge this gap. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I now hand over the session to Honorable Session Moderator, Mr. Samuel, for further proceedings, sir.
Everybody, good afternoon again to all of you. I have with me very, very learned people sitting here who are experts in their field, and I would love to ask questions. I unfortunately came to know that Dr. Ishwar has got very limited time, so sir, I'll ask you certain questions first, and then we'll take it forward from there. So sir,
Namaskar.
Namaskar. So sir, being a yoga master, that is what I read in your bio, plus being involved in propagating the whole yoga across the world. I just wanted to understand from you, how do we increase consumer awareness and what is being done?
Consumer?
Consumer awareness, how do we increase awareness?
So very good question. First of all, thank you very much for providing opportunity to share. As Suchom always, from last more than 20 years, I have been associated with. I don't want to miss any event whenever we join together. First of all, thank you. The most important question is, I will come to that one. Before that, you can see now yoga has become a mass movement. During the last 10 years, it has become a mass movement. Earlier, when we were in 70s and 80s, when we were going to teach, so we had to go to many schools, colleges, youth clubs and demonstrate yoga and popularize yoga, motivating them to practice yoga. So even just before a decade, it was very difficult to access to various healthcare delivery systems, especially modern medicine, including in Ayush systems. So very limited access to the yoga. So now you can see how I am saying that when Honorable Prime Minister introduced it in UN on 27th September 2014 to declare it as the International Day of Yoga, 177 countries out of 192 countries endorsed it, and a record time it has been accepted. That means yoga has been globally acceptable entity for the health and wellness both. So now for consumer affairs, we have many things. One of all, it's a fitness. Then we have to take the wellness, and in the healthcare and the various dimensions of health, especially in the therapy, which is going to be a very important factor for is a complementary medicine. In traditional and complementary medicine, yoga has been accepted. That's why Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga has been recognized as a WHO Collaborative Center for Traditional Medicine Yoga in 2013 itself, so along with Ayurveda and Jamnagar University. So that shows the popularity. Now, how you take to the consumers. First of all, Government of India has established a yoga certification board. So whenever you want to take the consumers, you need the quality and the standards and also availability of the professionals, and also affordable the charges what we charge, that's also most important. For that one, there are thousands of yoga centers, universities, colleges providing the yoga education, therapy and different aspects. But Government of India has established Yoga Certification Board. Now it is certifying at various levels, 12 levels of certification we do. Protocol instructor, wellness instructor, therapist, masters, various levels, including the Yogasana as a competitive sport. So that is one is standard is putting up, and we are training them, providing them the quality education. Who have been certified, we are not only certifying them on the basis of skill and knowledge, but we are also continuously yoga education we are providing them to upgrade that knowledge with the modern research findings. There are more than 14,000 research papers published in pure research journals. So many medical colleges or institutions are coming up, and we are providing that. That is the quality services we are providing. Third one is, you can see now government initiative, the 1.57 lakh wellness centers has been established. In all these things, yoga is an integral part. That's a huge that will go to. And even we go to the service centers, and they are taking it to the villages. Now the plan of government is to, for every 5,000 population, should have a teacher, at least one teacher. So it's in the pipeline. I think so in the years to come that will come. So like this, one is to make aware of it, and especially those who are suffering from the non-communicable diseases and musculoskeletal disorders, especially backache, cervical spondylitis and hypertension, and small issues where we cannot have we have to spend a lot of time and there is a lot of pain, problems, etc. Yoga has come up well with a good models, with a very good research. So once we establish that, definitely consumers. And last one is most importantly affordable. If you go to physiotherapy and one session you will pay at least 1,000 rupees or something like that. But for 1 month, many of the yoga institutions are charging just 2,000 rupees or 3,000 rupees in the metros. But in the small centers, it will be just 200 rupees to 400 rupees per month. You will get a very good yoga services at the doorstep. I do hope that with these small initiatives in the years to come, I expect three things. One is, when you do yoga for 40 minutes plus, so we can eat well, digest well, sleep well, work well, behave well. All these things are shown with a modern scientific research. But the yogis has been found out in thousands of years back. They lived that one. The only thing is, we have to decode those facts and in the modern innovations, and so that it will be acceptable to all the scientific community, medical community, and the common people. I do hope I answered your question. Thank you very much.
So can I just ask you
Yeah.
one more question, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
You said something which was very interesting. You go to physiotherapist, they charge you a bomb, and they call you many times, and they keep, telling you come back again. They will not tell you this is the method and you go and do it. That is one aspect. The second aspect is the kind of gyms that are coming up, mushrooming. People just don't understand. They are just interested in, having a good-looking physique, nothing else. They don't realize the kind of supplements and all that they are supposed to take. Somewhere or the other, it's being very harmful to them. Somewhere or the other, though yoga came from India, it's more of the foreign countries who started implementing it, and then suddenly, West में ही कर रहा है तो अभी हमको करना है. How do we, nullify that to ensure that yoga becomes a way of life? Like you said, 40 minutes a day, and
Definitely. Yes, I will answer that question. It's very important. Last time when I was in a TV interview, and one of the diplomat asked me, and whenever it comes from the West, Indian will accept it. So in the case of yoga, it's not so. But I do agree that the quality of research is going on in the US. It's not happening in India. The very good universities and very big medical institutions in US, they are going to high standard research on the impact of yoga, even on the neuroplasticity, and so many things are happening. So I do think so in the years to come that should happen in India. That's one thing I accept. But at the same time, आंसर दैट योग हम योग को जीते हैं, बाहर वाले योग को करते हैं. इट्स माई स्टेटमेंट. हम योग को जीते हैं बिकॉज योगा इज नॉट जस्ट ए 40 minutes practice. For us it is to waking up time and eating what time we have to eat according to the season, according to the Rutucharya, Dinacharya. So Swasthruti in Ayurveda also emphasizes that. So how to behave in my family, how to behave in my society, how we can contribute for the nation, and especially for the entire universe. That's the way how we live. That's the acceptance. It's a globally acceptance. But in terms of, because modern Western field or the abroad, you go to Europe and etc., they're all empirical more. But our life is spiritual oriented. Our life is life oriented. Their mental is totally, whatever we call that, it's empirical. So fast gain and fast loss. But we are having the sustainable life we'd like to have, and it's the universal well-being we always, that's why we are giving the good place in the entire global market.
Sure. Thank you so much. Haji? Yeah, please. I believe he has to leave.
No, you can ask one more question.
Okay,
I
okay.
hope I'll get.
Just a 1 minute. I would like to add something whatever sir have told regarding the yoga. Yoga, it has already done a lot of research in BHU under Professor K. Udupa.
Yes, yes.
In 1988,
70s.
in 1988, I have published one publication on yoga, effect of hot yoga on immune response, how the immunoglobulins are changing. And that presentation, that paper was presented in Italy when I was a student, PhD student. That was my part of interest. So the research was done already long back. In 89, I have this presented in Italy, and they are very interested to understand what is the pranayama. 8 kinds of pranayama is there. So we did a lot. We have taken the blood profile of zero level, then after 15 days, 1 month, then the lifestyle, how it is changing. Not only that, we have also done a lot of the patients of the heart patients, ischemic heart disease, because Arjuna was my PhD. So we are giving the Arjuna, and we are giving the yoga, how you do your life the better. So a lot of the research publication have been done.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no, just to say it, it's not 80s, sir. Transcendental meditation, the Europe and US has did more than 3,000 research papers. 3,000. It's there. Then B.K. Sayangar Guruji's, these things, 125 research papers published in 80s. Very good research papers in the 80s, not now. So that's why, but now the kind of research is, the double blind and all these things are happening, and that's the US is now, they are having a lot of progress in it also. That kind of situation they have, that thing also will come in the India, so that we can also compete in that. That's right. Thank you very much for the endorsing.
Saji, one last question, if
Yes,
you don't
please.
mind. Yoga normally gets associated with naturopathy. Do you agree, or do you have a difference of opinion?
No, I don't have any difference. Every system has its own strength. Yoga goes with every system. Yoga goes with the naturopathy, yoga goes with Ayurveda, yoga. But from the ancient time, yoga and Ayurveda, because yoga, in my opinion, as a student of yoga, I'm teaching last 36 years, yoga is mind-centric. So if it is not having impact on our mind, on your thoughts and on your feelings and your behavior, and you are not doing yoga. That's why that kind of yoga, if it is integrated in naturopathy, but sometimes we use that yoga and naturopathy combined, Ayurveda yoga and combined. Every system has their own strength, but yoga has its unique features. It goes with every therapy. Thank you.
Right,
I
sir.
do hope I will permit me. I have
Yeah,
flight
sure,
at 2
sure,
o'clock.
sure. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very
Thank
much
you so
for your
much.
patience. So, 1 minute always I take some yoga sessions. 2 minutes I will do and I will catch the flight.
Sure.
Yes, please sit straight. Yes, sir. Please. Yeah. Yes. I got your point, sir.
Yeah,
American, I got your point. That's why I'm telling, and whenever our teacher used to go to any abroad or any Europe countries or US or Australia, they need the certification from some, because there the insurance is very much essential to practice yoga. So that's why Yoga Alliance has come up in more than decade or so. It's marketing. That's why Government of India has started Yoga Certification Board. So just we have prepared every model, and even last time when Honorable Prime Minister in his International Day of Yoga address, he mentioned about globalized certification. Now with the diplomatic channels, we are putting up these standards because Yoga Alliance is giving only certification. They are not conducting any courses or something that. There is no standard is being maintained. But with a yoga certification involve all the great masters, scientists and researchers in this board, on board. So in the years to come, definitely we'll tackle that issue. That's a very fundamental issue. Even our teachers, even if I go to America and practice, I need the certification from the Yoga Alliance. Now I started an academy, and are you giving certificate from the Yoga Alliance? That is the biggest issue, and we are going to address it, I think. Sir, आप पूछ लीजिए सर, फ्लाइट डिले हो जाए तो अच्छा है.
योग का दो प्रकार से वर्णन है, थ्योरी, प्रैक्टिकल. आपने योगश्चित्रवृत्ति निरोध तो कर लिया, प्रैक्टिकल छोड़ दिया क्या? क्योंकि आपके फिजिक्स से नहीं लग रहा कि आपका योग में कोई अभी प्रैक्टिकल का 40 मिनट का कार्य हो रहा है. ऐसा क्यों?
सर ठीक है, मैं भी पहले आपने अच्छा किया, मैं भी वो गलती महसूस किया है. मैंने पहले 16 साल तक प्रैक्टिस किया. आई मेंटेन माय दिस थिंग्स एट 68. नाउ यू आर सीइंग नाउ आई reduced 10 kgs in last 3 months. Earlier, if you see, after my retirement, you can say I crossed 100 plus because I was working almost 18 years single-handedly and having a lot of responsibilities. I unable to cope up with the phase. That's the thing. Now I will come back in another 3 months. You can see the young boy. Now I am 62. No, I am challenged. I am not telling lie. I am 62 now, 61 cross. I have retired now. So after 3 months, definitely give me your number. I will come back to you. I will show that I am 24 years old. So because, I understand, because I lost the phase of practicing. Earlier I was practicing 1.5 hours then. So I start my class at 6 o'clock. I am teaching, but I am myself unable to practice and also eat at a certain time. I disturbed a little bit because
देखिए
very,
सर,
very
हम तो
happy,
आयुर्वेद के लोग हैं. हम 68 years old हूँ मैं. आयुर्वेद दिख रहा है. अभी मैंने
मैंने बोल दिया सर. सर ज़्यादा मत बोलिए कि मैंने एक्सेप्ट कर दिया है.
ओके
मैंने एक्सेप्ट कर दिया है कि मैं 3 महीने किया तो मैं जो भी बोला गलत.
थैंक यू.
ठीक है, that's the spirit. ओके. हाँ सर, मेरे बारे में मत पूछिए क्योंकि डाइवर्ट हो जाता है.
I have a humble suggestion, sir.
Sir, if you see that even at this stage, you can go and check me. All my health parameters are intact. Everything is intact. So you can go and check me. And even I work for 18 hours nowadays also. So I don't feel tired. That's the thing how we'll go into it.
Sir, I have a humble suggestion. Now budget is round the corner. It is a good time that Ayusha ministry, they should propose some kind of major investments or reforms in the yoga space. As you very rightly said कि हम yoga जीते हैं और US वाले yoga करते हैं. I think yoga पे lot of investment can go in terms of making it more scientific. Some research can be unleashed, or maybe some special institute can be formulated, in this direction.
Yes,
because yoga is science with us. We have to make it an art today. If it is not, means this is my prism of looking at it.
Your suggestion is well taken, and Madam Tanuja ji will address that one.
Thank you.
So let's have 2 minutes of small session of yoga. Sure. Okay. So just join hands. Namaskar Mudra. Because I will check this one. Yes. Relax. Close your eyes. Relax your whole body. Just lock your fingers. Stretch your arms slowly. Inhale and up, stretch up. Pura stretch kar. Yes. Stretch your lower spine. Fantastic. Yes. Slowly take your hands on the head. Relax your arms. Arch your back. Slowly inhale up, stretch bend towards your right. Be there, be there, be there. Make it straight. Inhale up. Exhale, bend towards your left. Stretch up. Yes, please come up. Take your hand backside. Now arch your back. Make it straight. Keep your spine straight. Yes. Now slowly stretch. Stretch up. Stretch up. Slowly take your hands on the shoulder. Then slowly rotate your shoulders. 2-3 times clockwise. Yes. Another one anti-clockwise. Yes, sir. So again stretch. So 3 times deep breathing. Inhale up. Exhale down. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Deep breathing. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Slowly keep your hands on the head. Down. Sit straight. Close your eyes. Just watch your breathing first. Don't force it to make it deep or slow. Let it be natural. Just watch your abdomen. Goes up and down. Goes up with inhalation. Sinks down with exhalations. If you really practice it for 27 to 29 counts with diaphragmatic breathing, you will be in alpha wave state. Just watch your abdomen, it goes up and down with every inhalation, exhalation. Fantastic. Just your attention on your lower abdomen. No efforts for breathing, please. If you hold your breathing below navel, diaphragmatic breathing, slowly count 1 up, 1 down. Yes. Deep silence, slowly you can feel the nerves are getting down and relaxed. We'll chant 3 humming sounds. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Again, fold your hands for Namaskar Mudra. Feel good. Experience the small change in the body, breathe and mind. Open your eyes. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you. No problem. Thank you so much. So now I'll quickly move to Dr. Sandeep. Saji, currently, what is the focus of research on ailments? There are two things. One is the well-being of the body, one is the natural aspect, and one is R&D, which focuses more on ailments. So if you can focus and let us know what is happening in terms of R&D, in terms of ailments.
Globally, if you see, very intense research is going on, as we see in the biological sciences, molecular biology or molecular pharmacology all across the world. It is an effort to know the mechanisms of the disease. You already understand that cancer has become more treatable because of the understanding of the mechanisms. Because cancer needs targeted approach. So molecular biology and molecular pharmacology, they have been the backbone of the cancer research. That is how the planning and strategy to make the drugs target into the cancer cells without affecting or damaging the nearby cells. That has been possible, and we have seen miracles in the form of many actors and actresses getting almost cured, and that is because of the targeting. Once you know the exact target, then the pharmaceutical sciences, that means the formulation development, so that the targeting is there. So a lot of these things are going on. So side by side, research is extensively going on the diagnosis or the tissue approaches, and also on the development of the biomarkers. For example, if we see cardiac diseases are diagnosed by way of some blood parameters, and troponin happen to be one of the main backbone for the diagnostic biomarkers. Now there is a lot of research as to how many more are there because of the increase in the capacity of the instrumentation, which can directly analyze at least 100 protein biomarkers from the blood. All the biomarkers in the blood are because of the protein component. So now we have the good analysis capacity all across the world. So the biomarkers, the pathology lab, they have become very efficient. So in different diseases, diagnosis of cancers in different stages and staging, they have become more efficient. And side by side, pharmaceutical sciences, pharmaceutical industry, and also I say the Ayurvedic industry, the herbal industry, they are also playing their part enthusiastically. If I see about India, India has been very well served by the independent entrepreneurs, whether it is pharmaceutical entrepreneur, whether it is Ayurvedic entrepreneurs, whether it is the other entrepreneurs. So India is lucky in that sense that every entrepreneur has worked wholeheartedly. Initially, there was a phase that quality was a part, but now in the last 10 years, they have caught up with the world. The pharmaceutical industry is also running very nicely, as you already, someone else already mentioned. We are the pharmacy of the world in Ayurvedic, also in yoga, also very strong strides are being taken up. So research is open field, and I think any science can take benefit from any other science. For example, yoga can take benefit from the cellular biology. Ayurveda can take benefit from the biomarker discovery. So it is all connected, and there was a mention of research articles. So research articles, again, because of the internet, they are all open. So it will be an open advice that all the fields and industry people, they keep an eye on the different research areas. And I also had a presentation because I was said I had just so 5 to 7. Maybe later on I will make the presentation so that we are also trying to collaborate with one of the other natural industries. Dr. Anil Sharma is sitting there from the Natural Solutions. So we have been very happily collaborating. Many of the products have been worked for preclinical pharmacology, then clinical test trials have also been done. And one of the products has also been tested for the anti-COVID and validated by the Regional Center for Biotechnology for Faridabad by the government lab. Okay. So herbal products are also, we are also working on all these aspects with the herbal products also. So research has no end.
Sir, any current challenges that you are facing?
Current challenges for the researcher happens to be the some or the other connected assessment or the analytical or the mechanistic tool. It may be, for example, for pharma scientist formulation, it may be some pharmaceutical machinery or item. For the analytical person, it may be analytical thing that he may would like to have. And sometimes some of the companies are very well tuned into the research vision and mission. So they have the appropriate backup for the vision, the R&D labs. It is also an urge to the industry that whether they are small industries or big industries, whether they are Ayurvedic or pharmaceutical or whether they are naturopathy or whatever it is, at least normally it is said that Indians are good savers. So at least industry should, because of their Indianness and other things, at least some percent, maybe 1% at least, they should focus and keep for the R&D, and that will be a great strength as they go forward and when they come out with some innovative products. So gradually R&D strengths are added up by adding instrumentation and other things. So they are some of the major challenges. Otherwise they can be collaborated. And for example, again, I will cite again my example, the industry is collaborating with us as MIT University. So we are trying to help them and we are also taking some things from them. Yes.
Any other future developments that you can share?
As far as the general developments,
Yeah, general developments.
I already mentioned biologicals is a big field. Earlier we had for example, we are already in the morning. We have already heard that things are changing from treatment to prevention. Yoga, gyms, and everything. They are a trend. Good diet and everything for prevention. Ayurveda is also focused on prevention. Parallelly, there is an extensive research on biopharmaceuticals, which is happening very strongly, and that is also one segment which is providing good relief from critical diseases, for example, cancers. Terminal stages of cancers are being cleared by way of the intense discoveries in biopharmaceuticals. That means protein molecules which are discovered from these cells, whether microbial or human cells or other tissue cells, they are separated out and they might have the antigen antibody sort of reaction, and because of that many of the diseases have that background that in the body something is getting mistuned and some protein is being created which is causing damage to the person's own body. That is autoimmunity sort of thing. So many of the diseases have that origin, and that biological drugs or the protein based drugs or proteomics is a very big field that is happening, and we are going to see a lot many new things in that part also. Very good therapies which will be very critical therapies for very critical illness like cancers and all. So they are happening very strongly.
Okay, cool. Now I'd like to ask some question to Ms. Walia. Hi, ma'am. Wanted to understand from you, what is the use of modern technology in Ayurveda? How do you correlate both of them together?
So I will not talk much of Ayurveda. I think everybody knows about it. It's a science which is 5,000 years old, and it is a preventive care system. But I would only say one thing, that Ayurveda understands stress, which is very, very important. In nowadays, the lifestyle that we live, we are all prone to this word in a smaller segment or a bigger segment. And I think that is how Ayurveda approaches any issue and a problem that comes to us, that we do a wholesome and a holistic system of treatment. And I think that is what the major difference is between us and the modern system of medicine. Because the modern system of medicine approaches the organ, and we deal with the human in the entire being in itself. So I think Ayurveda has a bigger role to play in the holistic well-being. And I think nowadays why people are approaching Ayurveda and the different system of medicines is because of this reason. And to highlight how we are creating the modern function and the elements into the traditional system. I have a small video which I would like to play to showcase, like ma'am also here said, that we are not a spa, we are not a hospital, but we want to create an environment that when you come to a place like us, you go out happy. And that is what my colleague sitting right in front of me also told me, that Ayurveda is not cure, but we are there to make you go healthy and happy. Sure. If I can have the AV, please. Thank you. This is our healing village in Palakkad, Kerala. So the entire, the space is in 64 acres of land, and we have just 34 cottages which we have set up here. And all these cottages, if you see, are very differently aligned to each other, so that we wanted to give a feeling to a person who comes there that, anytime you come to us, you get a different place and a feel. So there is a water body that goes around in the entire, facility. And keeping the modern requirements into the mind. The setup has everything that one seeks for. It has got a swimming pool, it has got a gym, it's got a library, beautiful resting places all around. And like my colleague also, who is not here, said that yoga goes out in every segment. So we have a yoga hall, which is one of the biggest in Asia. It's a non-pillared straight complex. That's the place where we do our therapies. And my friend here also said that there are a lot of researches that are going on in cancer. So nowadays we are having a lot of clients who are coming for after chemo rejuvenation. So that's something that we have been making a lot of efforts to cure or support that ailment. Thank you very much, and I look forward to having you all. Thank you.
Right. If we can show Dr. Sandeep's video also together. Sure, sure.
So it is just a small presentation just to highlight the innovation. We are talking about Ayush, we are talking about wellness, and innovation is was one of the keyword in this session. The theme of this session is how to take the Ayush forward with innovation. So it is just to showcase that something is already being done. One of the entrepreneur from Natural Solution, Dr. Anil Sharma, he came to us said that we want to establish our product with appropriate evidence. We are talking about evidence because Ayurvedic products or whichever herbal products, when you go outside, there are different segments. As someone was also mentioning in the morning, there is a lot of confusion when you go out and try to export the Ayurvedic or the other herbal products or other things. Some of the countries may categorize them into nutraceuticals, some may categorize into food supplements, some may categorize into dietary supplements, some may categorize into alternative and complementary medicine. For example, in America, it is complementary and American alternative medicines. When you go to Europe, it becomes as herbal medicinal products, HMP. Similarly, Australia, TGA also gives it different names. I think the only summary that whatever the entrepreneurs are planning, they have to keep in mind that if we are making a claim for therapeutic treatment out of any herbal product, naturally they will have to support it with the clinical trials or the human trials as it is expected of any drug. So that is the differentiating line. If you are trying to export or market it as a product which is trying to give some therapy or treat some disease, then you have to quantify it as to how much dose and how much duration of the dose and how much length of the dose, and then how much the recovery from the treatment. So that becomes the things. Accordingly, still the other countries, they have the freedom that you can market the products, and accordingly you can do the things. For example, in case of this company, Natural Solutions, they made the product as per the Ayurvedic text. Then they wanted that should be validated by preclinical pharmacology, and that is by animal testing and other cellular testing and other aspects. Then they also expect desire to coordinate it for the clinical trials. So a small clinical trial was also done, and then they also further asked that why not we are proposing that it is also effective against COVID-19. So why not go to the Regional Center of Biotechnology, Faridabad? They are one of the most appropriate center for carrying out this type of test. So that was again tested by the Regional Center for Biotechnology, and thereby we made the elaborate study. So this was just the data that someone already expressed. How many manufacturers in India manufacturing the Ayush products? So what difficulties they have? The difficulties may be regarding the technical issues. Difficulties may be regarding the countries in which they would like to export. Then the channel by which they get the approval in different countries, as we can see, the channel may be taking them either to a dietary supplement approval, or it may be taking them towards a functional foods approval, or it may be taking them toward a drug approval on the basis of what they want to claim on the label. If you want to claim a higher thing, that naturally you will have to go to a different segment. That is the separating line. And again, as I said, there are different categories, as I said, in different countries. And normally, this is the division of the document that you submit in different countries. The set of documents, whether it is a pharmaceutical, whether it is this thing. The moment you say that my drug is or my product is curing, then again you have to prepare the same dossier or the set of documents like the pharmaceuticals. That is called as the CTD, or the Comprehensive Technical Document, which has at least 5 modules. And then again, now we were talking about innovation. The theme of this session is innovation. So naturally, there is a lot of scope of innovation in herbal products also. Molecular pharmacology or network pharmacology. In Ayurveda, the basic concept is that there may be number of components in a formulation, and they together make a good effect. Allopathic works in a different way, that you have to separate a compound, and in most cases, they would like to precisely say that this molecule is acting on this particular thing. Yeah.
Particle pace.
Yeah, but that is there. But naturally,
Not a combination of that. Even that if there is a chili is a itself segment.
it's a chili. But what I'm trying to say, yeah, what I'm trying to say, yeah, but still in Ayurveda, you hear
Hello?
about Trifla, you
Sir.
hear about Trikatu.
Sir.
है ना?
Excuse me, sir. Discussions are later on this session. We have going for late. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
please
completing.
close in.
Just
Sir.
completing.
Yeah,
So
please.
Trifla, Trikatu, I think they are just examples.
Sir, please, discussion will be later on. Yeah.
So I'm telling that there is a scope of high-end research in Ayurvedic products also, and now the instruments are also available, wherein network pharmacology is a big concept. That means network pharmacology is again, the science is changing. When science is ready to accept that one disease can be attended
Sir,
by different.
Sir, actually, sir, we need to, sir.
So accordingly,
Yeah,
yeah. So we have the products were researched, and all the clinical trials and all these things were done by the concerned activities, and that was what I wanted to show. Innovation and collaborations, they are very prominent in the Ayurvedic and herbal products also, and evidence generation will help the industry, that they can take it forward with a therapeutic claim also to the international market. That was the thing that about.
Thank you, sir.
So now quickly, since we've got to wrap it up, I'll just ask 2 more questions. One is, I would like to ask Dr. Prithpal Singh, what role do customers play in product development?
Customers.
Yeah. Do you take customers' feedback in terms of product development? Do they ever play a role?
In fact, I think they play a much vital role because end of the day, I mean, if you consider any product, I will not say there are 2 sides of this coin, but there are multiple facets of a product development. I'm not I mean, from the yoga background, but coming from the drug delivery, I think the three major facets of any drug product development is quality, safety, and efficacy. And we have to look into all those aspects. And all of these parameters, they have been directly or indirectly correlated with the consumer or with the patients, depending upon whether the medication which you're taking, is it for the wellness or it is for the therapeutic action. So we may classify it as the consumer or the patient. But looking forward, and specifically, I mean, if this particular question is also related to today's topic, which is the traditional medicine, what is also much more relevant is when we are talking about the quality. The major roadblock or the major barrier in the traditional medicine is four components, which is your pesticides, your aflatoxins, your heavy metals, and your microbial contaminations. I think these are the four major roadblocks in the development or taking ahead the traditional medicines at the global level. Once we are able to tackle these four major components, then I think it will be much more widely accepted at the global level. Second comes the safety and efficacy of these products. Obviously, what happens is, I mean, if it is for a therapeutic action, it is actually being prescribed by the doctor, and the patients consumes them, whether they like it or they don't like it. Nobody raises the question because at that point of a time, you are in a compromise stage. So the patient consumes it. Now, when it comes to the wellness section, I think there it is very, very critical and a very vital role the consumer plays, because once the consumer and he buys that particular product, maybe for the first time under certain influence, but for the second time, the repurchase only happens if there is an efficacy to that product. Unless and until the consumer does not, himself or herself does not feel that the product is working, I think the repurchase is never ever going to happen. I hope I answered that question.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Just last two questions I would like to ask Dr. Santosh Joshi. Yeah, you can check it. It's working. So what are the main challenges in standardizing dosage forms for global market?
Very good afternoon to all. On behalf of Hamdard Laboratories India, I would like to extend my heartiest thanks to ASSOCHAM for giving us this opportunity, respected madam, and all dignitaries on dais, off the dais. There are some challenges, like I will give you an example. The formulations are designed as per ancient time. Some of the formulations, like sugar-based formulations, because at that time there was no concept of preservative or additive. Just to preserve the formulations, they have used sugar as a base or honey as a base, and those formulations, it was just masking the off taste of the ingredients, herbal ingredients, as well it was providing indirectly nutritive energy to the patient. But nowadays, with the prevalence of diseases like diabetes and other hypertension issues, now those dosage forms are relevant for those patients who are suffering from these diseases. Though they want to take the formulation, but Hakim and Vaidyas are having some limitations. And there are certain limitations with the pharmacopoeial standards also, because in these formulations which are generic in nature, we can't make any change. Even if sugar is mentioned, we have to add that sugar in the formulation. And if we are changing it into a patent or proprietary formulation, then the product's name has to be changed. Again, to promote it as an equivalent product, as a sugar-free version, it is very difficult to convince the user as well as the Hakims and Vaidyas. So such type of challenges we are facing. Otherwise, there are new innovations which are being practiced when we are developing a formulation like liposomes or nanoparticles. Those concepts are being incorporated by companies having modern setup, having advanced labs, and we are coming out with better formulations as compared to the traditional formulation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just one last question.
Yeah.
How do you ensure compliance, especially with regulations of so many different countries?
Yeah.
Every country has some kind of different regulation.
Yeah, you're right. Again, it is a very challenging task for us because those herbal ingredients present in one of our formulation may not be acceptable to different country because they are having certain limitations with the ingredients. For example, I can share with you, we are having different formulations of Safi for different countries. We can't add neem or we can't add sana leaf, Cassia angustifolia in the formulation what we are exporting to CIS countries. Similarly, when we are exporting to regulated market like US and Canada, we have to amend the formulation. It's a big challenge unless we are getting our IU system approved by those countries as a system and acceptance for all the ingredients. We won't have to play with the ingredients as per country specific compliance. And this again doubles our efforts because we have to conduct efficacy study as well as toxicity study to get those products registered with the regulated market. So those challenges we are facing and we are coming out with solution like that. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. Right, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
In fact, so many questions I want to ask. Unfortunately, there's a shortage of time, so we'll have to close this session. But thank you all for listening and thank you all the people on the dais for taking your time out. Thank you so much.
A loud round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for all our distinguished speakers. Thank you very much for a stimulating discussion. Please come together for a group photograph and kindly keep the applause going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's all thank them for sharing their expertise with us. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for joining us for this session. And we once again thanks Just Herbs for the gifts which we will be presenting to our eminent speakers just now. Thank you very much, Just Herbs, for sponsoring the gifts. We'll quickly set the stage for the next and the last session for the day, which is on the theme Elevating the Ayush Industry, Strategies for Ensuring Quality, Standardization and Education. Our panel is very much here and we'll quickly invite them for this session. This session will be moderated by Mr. Elvin Samuel. And sir is already with us here. Sir, once again, a very warm welcome to you. This is the last session for the day and we'll conclude with lunch. So we request all of you to please stay with us till the end. Also, due to paucity of time, we couldn't take questions. So during the lunch, you can connect with the speakers offline and you can get your questions addressed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are all set to start our next and the last session for the day on elevating the Ayush industry, strategies for ensuring quality, standardization and education. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Raman Mohan Singh, Director, Pharmacopoeia Commission for Indian Medicine and Homeopathy, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. Professor Rabi Narayan Acharya, Director General, Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. Kindly keep the applause going as they join me on stage. Dr. Narendra Dio Tripathi, once again joining us, member ASSOCHAM National Wellness Council and AVP Quality and Regulatory Affairs, BACFO Pharmaceuticals India Limited. Dr. Vivek Srivastav, Senior Vice President, Innovation, Business Strategy and Scientific Affairs, Zion Life Sciences Limited. Dr. Bhima Bhatta, MD Ayurveda, Medical Director, Apollo Ayurved. Dr. Shikha Nehru Sharma, Managing Director, Nutriwell Health India Private Limited. Dr. Vikas Punetha, Manager, Regulatory Affairs, Amway. Ladies and gentlemen, can we once again welcome the esteemed panel present on stage? And I now request Mr. Sandeep, Director ASSOCHAM, to please welcome Dr. Raman Mohan Singh, Director Pharmacopoeia, Commission for Indian Medicine and Homeopathy, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Dr. Raman Mohan Singh. A very warm and hearty welcome to you, sir. I now request Mr. Sandeep to please welcome Professor Rabi Narayan Acharya, Director General, Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. Thank you very much, Mr. Sandeep, for doing the honors. And to begin with, we have a special address by Dr. Raman Mohan Singh. Can we all please welcome Dr. Singh on the stage, on the dais, sir.
Good afternoon, all. As you know that quality of any medicines, either it is allopathic medicines or it is a traditional medicines, it depends on the standards, because as per our DNC Act, it is the mandatory requirement for the purity, efficacy, and also for the safety of any drug, that it should be tested as per the protocols and standards given in the concerned pharmacopoeia. Like for allopathic drugs, it is Indian pharmacopoeia. For our traditional medicine, as per our DNC Act and rules, all these 4 pharmacopoeia, that is API, Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, Unani Pharmacopoeia of India, Siddha Pharmacopoeia of India, and also the Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia of India is given. And we are responsible for publishing all these 4 pharmacopoeias along with 3 formularies, that is for Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani also. So I will give I want to show that what is the role of our PCIMH, that is Pharmacopoeial Commission for Indian Medicine and Homeopathy, for maintaining the quality of drugs in our country. Okay. And I know that you are very hungry faces, so I will run this presentation very fast, so that within 15 minutes I will finish it. So you know that from red one? So you know that this Pharmacopoeia Commission is located in NCR region at Ghaziabad, just 35 kilometers from here. And previously our institute was 2 laboratories, that is PLIM, Pharmacopoeia Laboratory for Indian Medicine, and Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia Laboratory. When we told about Indian medicine, means Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani. And nowadays SOVA RICPA is also added in that. These 2 labs are established in 1970 and 75, and later on in 2010, one commission is formed as an autonomous body, and homeopathy was merged in that in 2014. And later on, from 6 July of 2020, all these two subnet offices and one autonomous body merged, and our Pharmacopoeia Commission for Indian Medicine and Homeopathy nowadays under the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, as a subnet office. These are two buildings previously of HPL and PLM as Pocket 1 and Pocket 2. And also, you can see this is the Pocket 3, we have a National Herbal Garden there. In these total about more than 6.5 hectare land is there, means 18 acre, 90 biga you can say. And we have the chemistry, microbiology, pharmacognosy and pharmacology in Pocket 1, and also the garden behind of that. And in Pocket 2 we have well-equipped phytochemistry, museum, herbarium and pharmacognosy sections. And total build-up area is more than 8,000 square meter. And we have 3 gardens. Even one is for homeopathic drugs having the exotic species. Resources, we have different type of instrumentation like ICP, OAS, and also the TLC, HPTLC, and other major equipments. And right on, we are adding much more. Our vision is to establish as a nodal agency for establishing the quality standards for these traditional medicines. And also our mission is to formulate the quality standards for these traditional medicines and homeopathy, and to act as a central drug laboratory. This is the appellate laboratory. Previously we have tested state laboratories samples also, but now only the samples coming from the court that we have tested. Our organization have different sections like Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, Homeopathy in ISMNH, and repositories, museum and herbarium and medicinal plants in pharmacognosy, and chemistry also has sophisticated instrumentation in wet lab, and also microbiology, pharmacology and training cells along with the administrative sections. Our objective is to develop the pharmacopoeias, these 4 pharmacopoeias for our traditional medicines, to develop the formulary also for 3 A, S in U, and to revise and amend publish the pharmacopoeias and formularies time to time, and also to publish the compendia whenever needed. So you know that this is the Apex laboratory as a CDL, and also we are imparting the capacity building training programs every 3rd month, quarterly, for these traditional medicines to nurture and promote the awareness of quality assurance of drugs and formulations. And we have the repositories also for our authentic reference raw material and the reference chemical markers, because without that, no meaning of any standards. We are developing the laboratory nowadays for our PRS. So likewise, our services is to acting as a CDL and to impart the capacity building training programs, to publish these 4 pharmacopoeias and to maintain the BRS and PRS. Under the capacity building and training programs which I have told, we are giving the trainings not only for the drug regulatory authorities and different stakeholders like our state governments or central governments, Ayush scientists, their government analysts, or even the drug inspectors. But coming days, we are going to train the manufacturers and academia also in coming days. This is the hands-on training programs we have done, already conducting, and 8 programs in last 1.5 years admin conducted. We have different subcommittees for developing our standards. We have Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia Subcommittee, likewise Siddha Pharmacopoeia, likewise Unani Pharmacopoeia Subcommittee, and Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia Subcommittee. And any technical matter goes to in these subcommittees for developing our standards and monographs. Then it comes to our Pharmacopoeial Committee, and finally our Scientific Advisory Board, which is chaired by Professor M.C. Sharma sir. And we finalize everything which are going to be printed in these 4 pharmacopoeias. Likewise, you can see that these are the pharmacopoeias which I have told, 4 pharmacopoeias and 3 formularies we are going to publish. We are published. You know, the pharmacopoeia and standards have the botanical identification, various physicochemical parameters, and also the assay of various elements and functional groups and marker compounds. And recently, Ministry has told us that try to be having marker compounds in all the monographs, and we are going to update these monographs in OHOS, that is one standards. and using all the HPTLC, HPLC chromatograms or GC chromatograms are provided in that standards. In formulary also, you know that what is the meaning of formulary. I will not take much time because time is very less. That all three formularies also we are publishing and updating these formularies. You know, these are the pharmacopoeias and formularies we have already published till now. More than 2,200 pharmacopoeia standards of Ayurveda, Unani and Siddha and homeopathy already we have published, and more than 400 formulary monographs we have published. More than 2,600 formulary specifications for ASU we have published, and also we have published 2 supporting documents, one macroscoping and one TLC atlas for more than 350 drugs, and by which that Swissmedic has recognized us that they have given more than 41 our API monographs, more than 200 compound formulation monographs, and also the about thousands of formulary they have recognized just last year. This is the Atlas documents which have API of part 1, volume 1 and volume 2, and also macro and macroscopic atlas also we have published for API part 1, volume 1 and volume 5. And all this happened only by the help of our councils, different councils like CCRAS for Ayurveda API, and like Siddha, Unani and homeopathic councils for other pharmacopoeias in last years. You know that any standards have the organoleptic properties like color, odor, taste and texture that we have given in our standards. Pharmacognostic characters also like macroscopy, microscopy and powder features. Physicochemical characters like foreign matter, moisture, ash, extractive values, and qualitative, quantitative wise we have also provided the TLC, HPTLC wherever, GC chromatograms wherever needed, and also other safety limits like heavy metals, aflatoxins, microbial loads and pesticide residues also taken care in our standards. You can see some pics like digital microscope in our pharmacognosy section, and these type of photographs already produced in our laboratory which we have given in our standards nowadays. Another example of pharmacognosy identification of this one bark of Asphodel pinnata. This is same type of HPTLC profile we are producing in our standards now. Like illustration of HPTLC, you can see that this is the same is produces in our laboratory which we have produced in our standards in API or SPI or in other pharmacopoeia. For pesticide residue, we have GCMS and produce these type of chromatographs in our pharmacopoeial standards. Also, in case of heavy metals like for mercury, cadmium, lead and arsenic, ICP-OS we have in our laboratory, and we have taken care of these limits also. For aflatoxins, B1, B2, G1, G2, these limits is provided in our standards. And recently, just 2 days ago, when on Monday, one program of research initiatives has taken care by the CCRS and WHO, where it is suggested to take the aflatoxins limit of milk also. So M1 will also be going to be added very soon. Another pharmacopoeial limits of microbial contamination is also taken care of by us, and also absence of specific pathogens like Staphylococcus, Salmonella, Pseudomonas, E. coli, that also taken care in our standards of pharmacopoeia. So nowadays, as per the WHO guidelines, that any monograph has to be well documented, standardization based on the chemical markers, activity profile should be given, medicinal plants free from the pesticide and heavy metals, safety and stability. So our API part 1, volume 8 to 9, they all have these type of standards which we have updated. And you can see with the comparison of other European pharmacopoeia standards or WHO international pharmacopoeia, only in the case of radioactive residues, except that all the parameters are in our pharmacopoeia at par with any other international pharmacopoeia. I just don't want to show some latest achievement which we have done, that you know that in 2020, just 2 years ago, we have published these 6 standards, 3 for monographs and 3 formulary monographs for Ayush Katha Churna, Ayush Kutina Churnam and Ayush Safi Jashanda, which I already told in the morning that Dr. Nesri sir, that 41 API monographs, 202 compound formulation monographs and 985 formulary specification, which were published from 2007 to 2017. They got recognized as we have sent all the related HPTLC and HPLC data to the Swissmedic, and they have recognized. And right now, we are in the process of developing these HPTLC and HPLC chromatograms for another 100 API monographs. So very soon, they are also going to be recognized by the Swissmedic. So first time it was happened just last year, when from July, they have recognized our Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia. Also, you can see that previously it was not, but just WHO has in the index of the world pharmacopoeias, they have given all the pharmacopoeias, either it is all these Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha and homeopathic pharmacopoeia are given in the WHO list. You can visit their website also. Just a year ago, from January 23, we have ISO 17025 accreditation of pharmacognosy laboratory, and recently the chemistry and other microbiology lab is also in the process of enable accreditation. You can see that recently, just last month, we have given this integrated management system. I think this is the first institute in the Ayush Ministry that we have provided this quality management systems, environmental management system, and occupational health and safety management system by the Bureau of Indian Standards. You can see the certificate for that. And also NCISM and our homeopathic commission, they also recognize that all their students have to visit our Pharmacopoeial Commission and Indian Medicine and Homeopathy. In their curriculum it was given. So they have regularly visited in our institute, and they have to see the website. You can also visit for that purpose, that how many they are coming and taking the trainings from us. Just last year, we have also started the online portal for the sale of the soft copies of the pharmacopoeia monographs. And in just 50 rupees, and each monograph is enabled with the QR code to check the piracy. The real-time payment is enabled by Bharat Kosh, and user can be used with their debit card, credit card, net banking or UPI to make the real-time payment while purchasing these monographs. And very soon, as per the demand of the stakeholders, we will going to put up whole pharmacopoeia of our these four pharmacopoeia, either it is old one or newer one, so that they can take a soft copy, no need of any this physical copy in coming days. Recently, last year, also we have first time published 2 amendment lists for our one API and one is for AFI. Whenever we have received any comments from the stakeholders for the amendments of the same. You can see that under the capacity building program, we have conducted 8 training programs in last about 18 months. And all the drug regulatory authorities, state drug authorities, drug analysts, manufacturers, they have attended these training programs of quarterly. These are student exposure visit. More than, you can see there are more than 1,000 students and more than 100 staff about. They have get training in last 1 year. And also the WHO sponsored training we have conducted in November 22 when from 23 participants from 9 countries of 0, like Bhutan, Indonesia, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Nepal, Maldives, Timor-Leste and Bangladesh. They have participated for 3 days capacity building training program, that is hands-on training program conducted in the PCIMH. Already we have time to time conducted different seminars and workshops. With the help of our CCRS, we have done a workshop on selection of alternative source of rare ANDAs and the 318 medicinal plant used in our API. And also one brainstorming session was done with the help of Homeopathic Council for upgradation revision of pharmacopoeia standards and testing protocols of homeopathic medicines. And also one workshop of digitization of the database development under our RRDR and NRDR products. We have trained them for this developed digitization. And time to time, we have done all other seminars and workshops also in our institutes, like for skill development of our staffs. You can see some pics from that already our one joint secretary, B.K. Singh Saab, was there for this seminar when we have done for the digitization. And one is for one photographs from the previous seminar which we have conducted with the help of CCRS and all that. Already we have tested samples also. Previously we have tested homeopathic samples, but nowadays only the samples which we have received from the port, from the port and also from the court, that we have tested, and no other samples we have testing in last 1 year. Also the latest major additions of instruments we have done, like UPLC and other auto samplers for ICPOS and etc. And very soon we are going to be our purchase GCMSMS also in coming days. This is the raw drug museum, which have more than 300 BRS and more than 1,000 our raw drug in our museum. One museum is of homeopathy also, which is, I think, oldest museum are available with us. Whenever you will visit, you see that all these samples have the QR code database, and by your mobile you can see all the details of these standards and these samples. Likewise, we have started selling the seeds also. You can visit our website. We have started because we have a seed bank also. For that, more than 100 endemic and exotic species of homeopathic plants also, and otherwise all of ASU and other plants are also, seeds are available with us. You can also see that we have given the responsibility of one RRDR, Regional Raw Drug Repository, over the Gangetic Plain region, where 3 states like UP, Bengal and Bihar, we are collected the data from these more than 200 single drugs we have for 190 species we have collected. Herbarium species collected in just last 1 year, more than 100. More 100 reference standards and comprehensive monographs also we have developed in last 1 year. These are some pics from the that also. And this is the software invitation for collecting the data of RRD, which I have told previously. This is the pics from that programs. You can also see that this is the survey team which we have gone to the Chamoli or Nilgiri in Tamil Nadu or Uttarakhand, Churu forest in Rajasthan, and recently in Bengal also for collecting all these plants. This is the herbal gardens, which green area, which you can see that all our 3 pockets have these herbal gardens having the Nakshatra Vatika, Navgraha Vatika, and also the garden for our pharmacopoeia species. These are some other glimpses of from that exotic and endemic plants which we have for our homeopathic standards also, which are developed in about more than 10 acres. This is all these plants have the QR code, and your smartphone, all the detailed information will be displayed on your telephone. We have also have greenhouse recently developed and also a poly house under our project. Also, you can see the Nakshatra Vatika, which has been our secretary, Sir Kotecha Saab, has been inaugurated just last year in July 23, and our state minister was visited on that time on the 6th July. That is our time of our foundation day. And these are the landscaping which we are going to develop in our Pocket 2 garden. These are some pharmacopoeia publication underline, and within this month we are going to publish one API Part 2 Volume 5 also, having more than 20 formulations. API Volume for Part 1 Volume 11 for more than 31 single drugs monographs. UPI Part 2 Volume 5 for more than 50 formulation monographs. And for HPI more than 60 monographs. For SFI, there is a Siddha formulary, more than about 250 formulary specification. For Siddha formulary English version, more than 150. And for NFI UM for Unani, more than 400 formularies is going to be published within this year before December. We have also given the project of OHOS, that is one herb, one standards, for objective of the merge to multiple standards of a herb into a one irrespective of system of medicine. For that, we have signed a MOU between the PCIMH and IPC just about 1.5 years ago. And the synchronization of these standards lead to the OHOS and one nation and improve the ease of doing business in India and also across the globe. Also, we are also conducting the internal faculty training program. Every Thursday, we have done these type of programs related to not only the technical programs, but also for the our administration for internal developing of our staff. These are some research publication. Just we have a review article published last year and recently one on microbiology, and another is published just last month in the chemistry also, and 3 hours in the pipeline. Already just in January this year, WHO team having the Dr. Pradeep Dua, our TO there, and also Dr. Rudy Eggers, the head of the Integrated Health Services, they have visited. And they wanted that this institute has to be a WHO collaborative center for not only for the training but also for the quality control. And we are working for that also. We have applied for that, and maybe up to the next year, very soon, we are going to be a WHO collaborative training center also and quality control laboratory in our PCIMH very soon. So some other new initiatives already I have told that we have done for portal for sale of pharmacopoeia QR code, which is Herbal Garden, museum and seed bank, implementation of e-office newsletters and all that we have done quarterly. Hindi magazine we have published. International visit I have just visited in June along with the NIA Jaipur scientist and their vice chancellor to PTEC at Philippines. And they are also coming just after 3 months here also for taking the training from us at PCIMH for hands-on training program. So our future plan is also to upgrade our pharmacognosy laboratory, our microbiology laboratory, and also our upgradation of chemistry and this laboratory as per our GLP requirement, our pharmacology laboratory also. And very soon we have already given a proposal to our ministry for a G+4 new state-of-the-art building in the same campus at just behind of it, Pocket 2, which meet all the requirement of ISO and also the GLP. So thank you very much. You can visit to social media. We have in Twitter and Facebook and also we have the website. You can visit and see that what type of activities we are doing in our institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I now invite Professor Rabi Narayan Acharya for his talk. Sir.
Thank you. Namaste to all. At the outset, I thank Ashokam for giving me an opportunity to share my views on the title of the session, that Elevating Ayush Industries, Strategies for Ensuring Quality, Standardization and Education. Dear friends, the word elevating of Ayush industries is one of the most strategic tracks by the present government, and how to, for this purpose, the government is trying at each aspect, and being a member of the government and leading the Central Research Council of Ayurveda. We have approached this, and for your kind information last time, because industry is one of the major component which needs for the growth of any system of medicines. If you go to the WHO setup there for allopathic system of medicines, where for the research purpose, they have this research priority setting of every area. And for the first time, after establishment of Global Traditional Center of Traditional Medicine at Jamnagar, Minister of Ayush has taken steps to interact with different stakeholders of traditional medicines, particularly the industry, the patients, and the policymakers. We had a meeting last week at Delhi only itself, and WHO, particularly with the collaboration of WHO. There, the requirement of the industry to elevate Ayush systems in that part. And that one of the major feedback that day we got is about the popularization of the Ayush systems. And for that purpose, one of the part is here also in the sessions is the educations. How to popularize Ayurveda among the mass, because health is a public science. When there is a demand from the public, then only we can say the industry can play a major role there. When there is a public, and that's why many things, many of the Ayush research Ayush product are not being taken by the public or being demanded. But after COVID, we must have felt that the industry demand and what so in the morning Dr. Nesri told, and the demand of Ayush has gone like anything. But there, the main things comes the topic which is here, that is quality, standardizations, and educations about updating the knowledge, because whatever the present system is there, education is a must there. So as regard the quality is concerned, I can say that many a product of Ayush product are due to their poor quality. If you go to the health newspaper, all these things, many a product are there, and Dr. Raman Singh has told about how the government is taking steps for this quality assurance, and particularly PCIMH taking a strong step. And for your kind information, I think you must be knowing that Central Council of Research also, we have 5 laboratories across the country. We have 30 institutes, just like CCRS has 30 institutes across the country in 25 states, and we have 5 NABL accredited laboratory, and there we do carry out all this type of quality assessment, and we are also WHO Collaborative Center for this purpose at not only for quality but other educational and other purpose. Recently our National Institute of Hyderabad, National Institute of Medical Heritage, which is situated at Hyderabad, is a WHO Collaborative Center for that purpose. And the GMP facilities is should be must, because as regards the final product, finishing product or raw drugs, the main problem with the present raw drugs is the passport data. And how to get that quality assured there, that National Medicinal Plant Board is also having some certain schemes. And for your kind information, what Dr. Singh told, how many of you must be knowing or not, I don't know, that is NRDR, National Raw Drug Repository. For this purpose, for your kind information, one of the CCRS institutes at Jhansi is National Raw Drug Repository. Here, we have the samples of all the pharmacopoeial drugs, and also some non-pharmacopoeial drugs which are not mentioned in the pharmacopoeia, but priority is here for the pharmacopoeia. So we will provide the pharmacy, the standard samples there from with all the SOPs, all the quality parameters being described in the pharmacopoeia we are and the sample, what is the original, what is the authentic sample, you can take from on payment basis, that is there from our NRDR Jhansi. That's the same, Dr. Raman Singh and at the All India Institute of Ayurveda, there are so many, 2 to 3 RRDR also. But the NRDR, we are providing that facilities also there. And also for the raw drugs, we must ensure about the passport data and also good agriculture and cultivation practice, which is also must be there. And another thing is about the advanced testing and research facilities. That is must, and we are collaborating. That is the thing, that the Collaboration Research Institute validate the efficacy and safety of this product. Quality is also on the research priorities there, and we are now collaborating with many reputed institutes. CCRS is collaborating clinical research like AIIMS. We are working with 3 to 4 product like AIIMS, and we have, I think some of you must have attended our previous programs at Pragati 2024 at New Delhi last month. We have organized that how CCRS is working and have research product with us, with all the clinical research, safety, efficacy, every aspect we do research, and we are open to pharma sectors. If they come forward to us, we can take up in terms of we are there to help the pharma sectors. If a small pharma sector is there, we can have utilize our laboratories with with applied norms, that we can give that facilities. We can have 5 animal house there in our institutes. We can go for animal testing, toxicity, all safety aspects in animal models, and also we have 25 hospitals where we can collaborate. We can have clinical research on any of the product, and we have our own product which any company can come and take this for marketing with all with the transfer of the technology. Then standardizations also, here is another part, and that what Dr. Singh told, though we have Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia, Unani pharmacopoeia, Siddha pharmacopoeia, and homeopathy pharmacopoeia, the same botanicals are used in almost all the traditional medicines, but there are difference of standards. But now one drug, one standard. that comes, and every farm, that is the mandate given to Pharmacopoeia Commission, PCMH, Dr. Singh and his team is working on that. So there also these things ministry is working sincerely for that purpose of standardization of the herbal drugs. As regards the education and awareness programs, one of the component of this, we think industry can play a major role here also, because everything, everybody expect that government to fund for the education's IC material activities like that. Government is funding through its IC activities. We have Ayurveda Parab, we have Ayurveda Mela, Ayush Mela, all these things. But under CSR funding, I think I can request the pharmaceuticals to have, we are there to have public, because until and unless has a public demand on Ayurveda or on Unani or on Siddha, there will be no. So, if you people can share some of the CSR fund, like for education and for research purpose and public health services. Now we are working with Tata management of nutritional deficiency in certain parts of Odisha. We are working with 5 districts but anemia eradication program. So after our product being not only I can say that approved, but let the public know our strength. When the public know if our drugs, Ayush product are in public health, then only the demand of the market can enrich like anything. And as regards training is concerned, where CCRS is providing, Training Minister Ayush is going to establish one training center, dedicated training center at Bhubaneswar. Already the work has started within a year, that will be completed, known as Ayush Diksha, where throughout the year, for all the purposes, training will be given. So with all this and with few times, I thank again Ashokam for, and I'm here to answer any questions or queries like that.
Thank you very much, sir. Over to the Honorable Moderator for further proceedings, sir.
Right. Once again, a very good afternoon to all of you. I'm going to ask a lot of questions, but due to shortage of time, I'll cut short my question. But still, I need to know certain questions because this topic has become very interesting as the day has progressed. So quickly, I will ask Dr. Tripathi, how important is collaboration within the Ayush industry, and what steps can be taken to foster greater cooperation among different stakeholders?
Hello. Yeah, thanks, Alvin. Collaboration with Ayush is definitely very significant for the industry. And proceeding the activities in association with Ayush industry, start from the, itself from the formulation step. Even though when we start the formulation, we compile, and formulation is set, and we proceed it further to get the license from Ayush Authority, and without license, we cannot launch the product in the market. So one thing is the basically industry point of view, licensing per se, definitely having a good collaboration with Ayush is very significant. A part of that, Ayush, whatever there are the number of the developmental activities conducted by Ayush, and in adherence with the Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia, developing of standards, and we can, if we have the sound collaboration with them, we can easily type, and that can be useful for our industry, whatever the products we are manufacturing, and we can update it one with the, whatever the, at the optimum cost or optimum charges, that is the basically my point of view.
Okay. Just one more question I wanted to ask you is, how can the Ayush industry ensure highest quality of herbal products from sourcing to finished goods?
Yeah, it is basically, if we take the quality aspect, definitely it varies from industry to industry. Every industry is established to manufacture the products, and the product remains in to be to be sold in the market, and that is the basically lifeline is the basically that we can say shelf life of the product along with adhere with the quality. And quality is the basic, we can say, backbone for the marketing strategy, as well as the, we can say it is a face of quality department, or quality, it provide the brand strategy also. But to develop a quality product, sourcing of raw material, their standardization, their testing, and processing through a quality assurance approach till consumer end is very significant. Instead of adhering with the quality control, like हमने तो product बना दिया, जैसा भी बनाओ तो बिक जाएगा. Now it is not the time. It is the time to have to meet out the consumer needs, to meet out the customer requirement. If it is not meeting, it will not. We will not be able to stand in the market.
Thank you so much. Now I wanted to ask Dr. Vivek a couple of questions.
Yeah.
What role does innovation play in elevating the Ayush industry? And what are some of the recent innovative practices or products that have made a significant impact?
Yeah, thank you, Alvin, for your question. See, innovation when it comes to, it is more focused on innovating the quality of the product, because herbs are defined, formulas are defined, and of course there is a no more scope in Shastri Yoga and classical formulation of Ayurveda, but yes, there is ample and enough opportunities what we are doing with the patent medicines. Standardizing the single ingredient at a higher extracted percentage, yes, it is wide happening, like when it was 2.5% with annualized, now 5%. People are trying even and claiming for 7% as well. Though the purification process and sterilization is still something, I'll say not up to the mark, but yes, it's keep happening and a lot of the things are going on that way. Now coming to the innovation in terms of the disease specific, so Ayurveda when it comes to the product offerings, right from the GI disturbances to the muscular dystrophy, there is an answer from the Ayurveda, which is not in the allopathic or other system of the medicine. So innovation regarding the products which are set to be placed for or suitable for the rare disease, yes, it's something which is coming in the demand. I would not say which is only confined to country India, but yet at the global level it is happening widely. Especially to the chronic issues and the autoimmune disease as well. That is what, and the other part, see, it's innovation in terms of the product is also not only important, innovation in terms of communication is also very important. I mean, what we know, that's something, but now the certain part of the unlearning is also important when it comes to the Ayurvedic principle, and just to redefine that in the innovative way to the mass, that's what my take is here. Thank you.
Right. One more question. What strategic business approaches can Ayush company undertake to ensure further growth?
That's not only the growth, even the sustainable growth, I would say rather, because now you know the biodiversity departments are alarmed on the uses of the, or exhaustion of the herbs uses, and every company is paying for that basis on their utilization of the raw material in their industry specific. But that's need to be understand that if the lot of the burden would come from the government, that would also resist the growth in terms of Ayush, because we have the flexibility to go with the industry. We try the ingredients in nutraceutical also, because there is amalgamation of FSSAI in the Ayush. So it opens up the flexibility whether I use ashwagandha in my patent formulation or I will use in the FSSAI. So if that burden will be reduced from the government, of course the sustainable growth will be one opening things which keep coming, and there's we can of course witness the certain good growth in upcoming years. That's a one. And the other part is where the Ayush industries are focused, that as I said in my first answer, the innovation in terms of the creating not only the formulation basis, rather the molecular basis extractions, which is a high defined extraction, and the isolation which is opening up the lot of the pharmacological, the sustainability in terms of that if the product efficacy is not only standardized on the basis of certain standard which is defined by the government. No, it's more on that clinical trial should substantiate it, and I think government should take it in the capture that clinical trials, the things can be also subsidized up to the, because once we try that to conduct the clinical trials, it comes with a lot of the big investment, and then we take the back seat there. That's what will give the open up the door for the sustainable growth. I believe so. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks. Now a couple of questions to Dr. Bhima. So Sarji, what are the best practices for educating patients about the benefits and proper use of Ayush treatments?
Thank you very much. The main aim of Ayurveda is swasthasya swasthya rakshanam aturasya roganuta. That means, you have to maintain the health of the healthy individual first of all, And prevention of the disease is very, very important. Prevention is much better than cure. So we have to increase the awareness of the how to prevent the disease, how to maintain your daily life. You know, in Ayurveda it has been told, swasthavritta. That means, you know, what time you have to get up, how to clean yourself, what kind of food you have to take. All these things have been explained very well in Ayurveda. So if we follow proper Ayurvedic principles of maintaining the health and prevention of the disease, this is very important, and we have to actually make a lot of arrangements actually to teach, to increase the awareness of prevention of the diseases. So in our hospital in Apollo, I am medical director in Apollo as well as in Medanta. There we conduct almost once in every week some awareness program for all nearby RWAs. So we call them, we tell them that today we are going to discuss about a particular Prakriti. Nobody knows about Prakriti. What food you have to take, what food you should not take. This is very, very important actually. Everybody is taking, in Ayurveda it has been told that mithya ahara vihara, that means a wrong food and wrong lifestyle is the main cause for the disease. So you have to take care of your food, how to maintain your lifestyle. So if this is corrected by way of giving lectures, by way of publishing in the daily newspaper or in this one, so we will have to increase the awareness in the prevention of the diseases and what kind of food you have to take, seasonal. Rutucharya is also there. In which season, which kind of food you have to take. You are a Vata Prakriti person, what food do you have to take, what food you should not take. So in this way, we have to increase the awareness, then it will be very good. And what we do in our hospital is this one only. We are actually trying to make the allopathic doctors, because I am always working from more than 40 years, I am working with allopathic doctors only. So we make them understand, this particular thing. They appreciate it actually. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Now a couple of questions to Dr. Shikha. So just jumping from the question I just asked and the answer we got, what are the current trends in the Ayush industry that are driving consumer demand, and how can companies adapt to these trends?
So the first trend which I see is that consumers are looking at Ayurveda from two fronts. There are some consumers who are looking at Ayurveda because they don't want to use chemicals, they want to use natural, gentle ways. So one part of Ayurveda is being driven by those consumers. And I think it's also important to understand that those consumers which are picking up Ayurveda for their organic, for natural, so the organic agricultural practices and policies need to keep up with that, because it is those consumers are very finicky. They're not going to pick up non-organic Ayurvedic medicines. So that is one thing which I think would be important for the industry to know, that the organic agricultural practices, policies, subsidies have to be aligned to this trend. The second kind of consumer is who is used to allopathy and now is looking at another more powerful or another quick fix in Ayurveda. So they have done the allopathy bit, and whether it is cancers, whether it is other diseases, and once they feel that, okay, we wanted a certain quick fix, we wanted certain other things, we didn't get it in allopathy, now let's go to Ayurveda. So this shopping kind of a customer is the customer where I think we need more education, more awareness, and more differentiation in what Ayurveda stands for. And because otherwise it's going to be tough for Ayurveda to create a real outcome. Now why I'm saying it's a real outcome is like if somebody is playing lawn tennis and they're very good at lawn tennis, and suddenly you put them in playing badminton, they're not going to win. Ayurveda has a different philosophy which consumers have to understand, and it cannot be the same philosophy what consumers have understood from allopathy, that we need to get okay in 2 days, 3 days, and I don't need to change my diet, I don't need to change my lifestyle, I'll just have this medicine and I'll be fine. So that understanding has to change. Another aspect, though you didn't ask me this question, is the global warming which is happening, and the agricultural practices which are using chemicals are going to kill these herbs, because all these are herbs which are growing in a certain ecosystem. Now we are lucky in India to have all these areas and tracts where natural herbs are still growing, where they're not getting, where they're not dying out. We all know that how many animals have died out, how many plant species have died out. So I think as a government, as a country, we need to take stock of the situation, that how many natural herbs are still there, what is the global warming effect on those herbs, how do we protect them. There are enough and more companies in US which are banking seeds, including seeds from India. So we also have to be very cautious that if in the future the entire stock exchange is working on seed formulas or seed chromosomes, it will be tough for India to maintain its position as a world leader. So I think there are a lot of things which are happening, right from global warming, seedless agriculture, genetic modification, use of chemicals in agriculture. So I think if we look at all that, we may be able to put some things in the execution today which can benefit India in the future.
Okay. So tell me one thing then, how do you build and maintain consumer trusts in products and services?
I think it's very easy. What consumers need is that from where has this herb come, how has it been handled, and what is it going to do. And today with blockchain technology, it's not hard. If we do, if we create codes, from the seed code to the formulation code to the quality code, and all those codes are, today a customer can see that, okay, it's been verified by these many companies or these many quality standards. So the customer just needs, and today with technology, it's not hard. And in fact, I would say it would be imperative, because whenever there is a lot of funds or demand in the market, there are a lot of spurious companies which come up. There are a lot of spurious people who come up. There are a lot of spurious areas which come up, right? Whether it's technology and you have Microsoft copy. So you know that when Microsoft came into India and other countries, there were a lot of pirated softwares available. So like that, I don't think it will not happen in India. You'll have spurious herbs, spurious formulations coming up. So I think if blockchain is used to map the whole journey, that should really help the industry, and especially people who are really putting in effort to get the right thing out.
Thank you so much. Couple of questions to Dr. Vikas. Saji, what are the best practices for a company like yours to stay compliant with both domestic and international regulatory standards?
Sorry, so can you repeat, please?
What are the best practices that company like yours can, focus on to stay compliant with both domestic and international regulatory standards?
Yeah, that need to understand the importance of the regulations. So regulatory compliance is must required to be compliant for the India and export market, and these are the backbone of that particular things. So from my side, my company is doing that. The standard which is mentioned in the India and the global market, we are complying with that. And second point is related to the marker compounds. So nobody in the India market is going for the telling about the markers compound. In my company, that we are showing that there are marker compounds. We are testing in each batches and showing that these markers are present in each batches. If ashwagandha is there, that there is the vithinolides. How much vithinolides is there? We are mentioning that. That's the things we'll do. Second thing we do that from seed to herb to the product, and the product to the consumer. All the traceability, we are taking care of that particular thing. So that is mandatory. If you want to be a good company and a quality standard, then we have to make that from the seed to the consumer, all the things have a traceability. Second, the implementation of that particular norms. Third is the learning the quality standards which we have already in the India market, and it's all in the global market. In different countries, their different norms are there. Europe have a different norms. Dietary supplement have a different norm. Botanical in US as a drug, have a different norms. So if we compile everything, then we can follow that particular things and make a good standard product.
Okay, cool. Now, basically what happens is we have been hearing throughout the sessions that, different countries have different kind of compliance and standards. Now, if a company from India needs to expand into the other markets with regards to any kind of Ayush products, what is the best strategy any company should be employing?
Yeah, definitely. We all know that only 20 countries or more than 21 countries, the Ayurvedic medicines is known, recognized. But for other countries, that is not recognized. We have to comply as per their norms. Maybe US has a dietary supplement, in Europe is a THMPD, and Canada is for natural health products. So there are different categories. We have to comply with that particular requirements. So for selling these products, when we are going for these products to Ayurvedic medicine to the different country, we try to make that particular norms and making that compliance. But there are different issues are coming. Many times the markers, the ingredient, because some countries have the positive and negative list of their herbs. Maybe ashwagandha is not allowed somewhere, some herbs is not allowed. If herb is allowed, then their marker is not allowed. If marker is allowed, then there is processing is not allowed. Fourth is if the doses, if you're going for the tablet, they will say that we are not allowing the tablet form, we will allow as a capsule form. So there are many different issues, but we try to make quality and we try to make complying to make sale that product to the different country.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
There are so many questions I wanted to ask, but I think we'll have to ask the panelists all the questions during the lunch time. So because of paucity of time, we would like to close this session here. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Kindly keep the applause going for the esteemed speakers. We request you to please come together for a group photograph. And as Mr. Samuel rightly mentioned, that you can connect with our speakers during lunch. Thank you very much for an insightful discussion and joining us for this session. Thank you so much. With this, we come to an end of this conference. Thank you very much for your participation and support, and we can see all of you already joining us for lunch. Thank you so much. Wish you a great day ahead. Bring the gifts for this session as well. Thank you so much.
Policies which